The defence, who were very stingy in the first 3 games, need to refine that early season form after allowing 34 points last weekend. Linebackers Andrew Wilkins and Ashley Bash Matthews, together with last week's hero Rob Hardwick, anchor a defence that are struggling on the D-line due to injuries suffered against Sandwell. If they can find a way to stop the run, Hardwick and the Caesars secondary could have another profitable day against the Mustangs' pass attack. We caught up with head coach of the Caesars, Barry Bosley, prior to the game.
Afternoon, Coach.
Good afternoon to you.
Thank you for your time this afternoon. A few questions then. Last week you squeaked out a victory against Birmingham. What were the keys to that success?
I think we had a good team effort all round. Obviously we had Rob Hardwick, which really turned the tables, really put some effort in. But I think all the guys on the field that day put a performance in.
Nottingham Doncaster is today's fixture. It's a fixture that's been almost a rivalry over the years. What do you look forward to about the Mustangs coming down
Doncaster
to
enter the game on the back?
Apart from beating them. I think it's one of those local rivals, you know, because we're not that far away. And over the years we've had some really close games, good games. So again today we're looking to establish that lead over them, because at the moment I think we're both 4-1. So today that would be nice for us just to get there and step up another one. So yeah, good game.
With Sandwell beating with Doncaster beating Sandwell last week, there's now almost a 3-way tie at the top of the Midlands Conference.
Yeah.
What are, from your perspective, are there any particular keys to maintaining where you are now for the second half of the season?
I think it's just keep turning up and training and just going through the playbook. That's one of the biggest problems you have, especially when you've got 3 games on the trot, because you're actually training and bringing stuff in on a Wednesday night, and a Wednesday night you don't get a lot of time. So yeah, it's keep your head down, keep working, and just keep looking for those goals.
We had a chat last time we were at home against Sandwell about whether or not there was a stronger unit, offence, defence, special teams, but obviously they're all based on players. Is there any particular aspects you look for in an individual player?
Yeah, I think it's a question of being determined that you want to win, and be positive that you want to win, and also whatever happens on the field, if it's a mistake you make, you've just got to forget it and you've got to move on. Otherwise, you can get wrapped up in plays that you've just not completed.
Fantastic. So, sun's out again, second home game in a row. We've got the decent weather. We wish you all the best and thank you ever so much for your time.
You're welcome. And it's really nice to see you as a young man. I can remember you at this size, okay?
Yes.
Cheers.
Thank you very much. Cheers, Barry.
Win against the Steelers. Coach Weston will be eager to impose the same defence that stifled the previously explosive Sandwell offence on Nottingham when his squad take the field against Johnson and the Caesars this afternoon. We caught up with Coach Weston to get his thoughts on the game.
First of all, how's 2016 gone so far for the Mustangs?
It's going pretty well so far. We got off to a slow start in our first game where it was a tough game against Ouse Valley, a good team, as you know yourself, you've played them, you know what they're like. 1 point loss, which we felt we should have won. We had 5 interceptions that game, 1 for a pick 6. But then that was the first game of the season, so we built on that. The defence in that game was lights out, as they have been all season. We've had 9 interceptions so far this season. Sam Falls has got 5. One of our safeties, Eric, he's got 2. Rob Mills has got 2 interceptions. Our defence is playing phenomenal. Offence we're still not clicking yet. Each week that we play, it's getting closer. So we're confident that today we can put together a stronger performance today. But we'll see how it goes.
Congratulations on last week's victory against Sandwell.
Yeah.
Some would say that was an upset.
Yeah, a lot of people would say that. Yeah, every week we play, we're always underdogs, but we prefer it that way, to be honest. Nobody around the league really likes us or respects us, but it just motivates us more, to be honest. But no, we know what team we are. We know today's going to be a tough game, especially because we've got a squad of 40 plus, but today I think we're missing maybe 15 players due to work commitments and various injuries, so we know that it's going to be an even tougher game, so we're up against it already. But it's next man up, the rookies that we've got coming in, they've got to step up and perform today. We've got a couple of returning players coming back who've missed the last 2 games, so that should hopefully give us a boost on defence. And offensively wise, we're just looking to finally get rolling, finally put some points up on the board.
Nottingham Doncaster over the years has been a bit of a rivalry, a bit of a traditional game. What do you look forward to about these particular matchups?
Win or lose, it's always a tough game. I think both teams will say that. We won last year, but the year before you guys beat us. But both games came down to the wire. I think you had a 1-point win 2 years ago, and then was it a 2-point win we had last year? 2 points, yeah. Both games came down to the last 2 minutes, so I don't expect today to be any different, really.
Good afternoon, one and all. Back to Harvey Haddon Stadium in Nottingham for today's encounter between the Nottingham Caesars and the Doncaster Mustangs. Looks like we're set fair again. Weather looks good. We've got two really strong teams here. Bitter rivalry, ready to renew itself once again. I am joined this afternoon by possibly the most successful junior coach in franchise history, Mr. George Lees, fresh off the back of a victory against the Farnham Knights about half an hour ago.
Yeah, if that. It's nice to know that we didn't do that good a job because they've taken away our chairs today.
I don't think we used the chairs last time anyway.
No, but I need to sit down.
So we're going to be bringing you all the excitement this afternoon from Harvey Haddon in what promises again to be a really close affair as the last time we were with you against Sandwell a fortnight ago. So Doncaster have just taken the field and we await the arrival, as you can hear in the background, of the Nottingham Caesars. Currently a three-way tie at the top of the Midlands Football Conference, Division 1. Incredible victory last week at the death by Nottingham, when for some reason the Birmingham Bulls elected, with a lead and on the Caesars 5-yard line, elected to pass the ball instead of maybe running out the clock or taking a knee. And Rob Hardwick, the hero of last week, managed to pick the ball off on his own goal line, returned it 100 yards for the winning score.
I mean, that's just absolutely fantastic, isn't it? How many TDs did he get last week? 2?
There were 2 pick sixes, including that one, and a kick return for a touchdown as well.
An impressive player, another one to watch again today.
So we'll be back with you shortly. We've just got a little bit of video for you from our guru, Mr. Steve Matthews. Run, Forrest, run! So we're very excited to be able to welcome 2 special guests again to Harvey Haddon this afternoon. We've welcomed the return of Darren Fletcher. Darren, who used to play for the Caesars, you may well now know provides football commentary on BT Sport, and enjoyed the experience so much a fortnight ago. He's returned to watch another outing. We've also very excited to have a former NFL player with us this afternoon as well, and Super Bowl champion Rocky Boyman joining us for a taste of American football Brit Bowl style. So Rocky spent 8 years in the NFL with 7 teams and reached the pinnacle of the game when he became Super Bowl champion with the Indianapolis Colts. Colts went 12-4 that season and beat the Chicago Bears 29-17 to lift the Lombardi Trophy. That was back in 2006, but it's just fantastic to have a former NFL player witnessing what Britain can bring to American football.
Yeah, what an absolute honour to have him here in Nottingham.
So I think a little bit later we're going to get both Fletch and Rocky up in the commentary booth and have a little chat with them, and I also believe that Rocky's going to be signing some merchandise and we're going to put some sort of competition together to try and get hold of that. So everything this season just seems to be getting bigger and better, and again behind the brainchild of Steve Matthews, who's alongside us. Been here since about 2:30 this morning setting up. It looks to be another really great game of football this afternoon.
Weather's still holding up today, which is nice. They did forecast rain. They have forecast rain, but it's a fine day for football.
So, the players are out there. We're just ready for the captains to take the field for the coin toss. So while we've got this opportunity, George, Farnham,
Talk to us about Farnham.
What do you want to know? What do you want to know?
Originally then double coverage, if you were reading the predictions earlier in the week, double coverage with the fact that Farnham came up with the reputation of having played against the London sides the last couple of years. They deemed that they would be 3-score favourites over you.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair to Farnham, they've come down here, and I know how many players they're supposed to have on the roster, but they came with lower numbers than expected. And I think towards the end we beat them on fitness, but our defence was absolutely outstanding. 2 young men in particular, Ben Diallo and James Zala, playing outside linebacker, were just dominant. And it was the first time Ben's ever played outside linebacker. I actually took him for an emergency coaching session, as it were, yesterday. So he did something right, and he absolutely dominated. It was fantastic to see.
From what I saw, your boys just stifled the opposition.
Doncaster Mustangs won the toss, have deferred to the second half. The Caesars have the first half option and will receive.
And there's our first contribution of the afternoon from referee Brian Yates, who confirmed that Doncaster have won the toss and will defer. So that means Nottingham will receive the ball and get the first chance to put some points on the board themselves. So that defence you were talking about from your boys, it's 6 turnovers created today, was that? Is that right?
To be honest, I wasn't counting.
It was 6.
Was
I
it
was.
6?
I was.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad someone was.
And obviously interceptions and fumbles and
too focused on the scoreboard. But I mean, it was dominant. But our offense didn't capitalise. And it's odd to say when you put 30 points past somebody, but the field positions we had, the offense just didn't capitalise.
No. So I think a number of those possessions. A number of those possessions you did take over sort of inside their 5-yard line, didn't you? Just struggled to punch it in.
Yeah, I mean, they have a very, very strong defensive line. In fact, physically, they've got a very strong defense.
They were big. They're a big unit.
But we got a couple of passing TDs in. Tom Henley, our quarterback, who we interviewed last time. Yeah. We don't take accurate stats, but I think it would be fair to say around about 200 yards and 2 touchdowns.
No picks.
No picks.
Very few incompletions as well, I think.
Absolutely.
No, very efficient this afternoon. So we'll come back and talk a little bit more about your boys and about what that means for the rest of the season. We've got Doncaster now who are ready to get us underway in this one. So sit back, relax, enjoy, get in touch with us if you can on the normal channels. Hashtag this afternoon is hashtag Don versus Not, Don vs Not. You can look us up on Twitter at Caesars Football. Facebook's address is facebook.com/Caesars Football. And if you want to know any more information about the Nottingham Caesars themselves, then head to the website nottinghamcaesars.co.uk. So, game is underway. Nottingham will take the ball. And they'll start with it on around about, let's have a look. Officials are just having a brief chat after the opening kickoff. So it looks like we're going to re-kick.
Offside on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty, retake the kick.
And that'll be why. So that'll march Doncaster back. That means an offside on the kicking team means that one of the gunners, one of the kick coverage team was in front of the kicker before the ball was actually kicked. So it'll march it back to Doncaster's 30-yard line and we'll restart the game. Back to receive for the Caesars. We've got number 20, Mickey Fisher, and last week's hero, number 38, Rob Hardwick. And Rob Hardwick is the centrefold, as it were, on today's programme. Incredible game, and Rob really does embody everything that is good about the Caesars. Trains hard, works hard, contributes effectively every week. So here we go again. Number 24 for Doncaster, Robert Mills, about to kick off for a second time. And away we go. Fisher fields the ball at the 12-yard line. And he's still on his feet. And he's up to around about the 38-yard line. Great return by Mickey Fisher. So not only did Doncaster get marched back 5 yards on the opening kickoff, but a 30-yard return by Fisher sets Nottingham up in good field position for this opening possession. So as I mentioned in the opening statements, quarterback Dan Johnson leads the offense for Nottingham. Been very effective so far this season. Nottingham obviously currently sitting in joint second place as things stand, 4 wins and 1 losses, but easily the highest scoring team in the division with 86 points rather. So Johnson starts in the pistol formation, hands the ball off, and it's a jet sweep on the first play, which goes for a big gain. And that's Natal Malero, number 11, who picks up a first down. So Natal comes in off the motion off the left-hand side of the line, takes the handoff from Johnson, and picks up good yardage on first down. So first down, Nottingham inside Doncaster territory on the Doncaster 36. 2 receivers split both sides for Johnson. Jason Robinson in the backfield, number 27. Ball's up, Dan looks left. He's got Davidas, and Davidas picks up maybe 2 yards before a really good open field tackle by number 24, Robert Mills. Stops him right there. George is still with us. He's just obviously taking a breather and trying to come down off his victory from earlier on today. So he will be back with us in a minute, but he's entitled to a little bit of downtime initially. So second down Nottingham, 2nd and 7. Similar formation again. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Dan in the pistol with Jason Robinson behind him. Ooh, high snap, but Dan does field it well. And he's got Ash over the middle, number 1, who did have enough for a first down, then seemed to come back behind the chains. It depends on the spot. But that's a good first completion to Ash. Anybody who was watching the first broadcast, Ash's name was mentioned, and I really struggled with his pronunciation of his surname. So it's
Sarcevic.
No, there's a ch in there. I'm sure.
Is there a ch?
I'm sure.
Is there a ch? We're going to get told off again.
I spoke. Oh, say that again, Chunk, for us. There you go. So
I think we're going to stick to Ash.
I think we'll go with Ash all day. And having spoken to Ash on the sideline before the game, he's happy with that. So once again, it is actually a first down. So it's first down on the Doncaster 25. Johnson looks to pass again. He's got a man across the middle. And that's a great completion. Cameron Bell, number 25, takes it inside the Doncaster 10-yard line. And once again, like we saw against Sandwell a fortnight ago, Nottingham moving the ball really well through the air. We did say previously that it tended to be the case that in Great Britain, teams tend to try and run the ball a little more than they do than passing the ball. Just obviously because the connection between quarterback and running back, it's a little easier to hand the ball to somebody rather than throw it down the field to them. But Johnson and the Caesars seem to be in rhythm straight from the off here on the back of what they accomplished last week against Birmingham. So first down and goal, in fact. First and goal from the 10-yard line. Same formation again. Johnson in the pistol. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Robinson behind him. Nice snap this time. He's got a man in the middle again. And Davidas just can't haul it in on the slant pattern over the middle. That would have been the perfect start to this drive and indeed to the game. But there are signs that Nottingham are finding seams in the middle of that Doncaster defence. It looks like we have an injury, unfortunately, on the Doncaster side of the ball. There's a man down in the end zone currently. So this afternoon, as well as all the usual information that we'll try and bring you, we've had our media guru, Jay Mystery, who's been working hard on all social media outlets again, and we've got a number of shout-outs to try and give you this afternoon for people who have been particularly vocal and particularly positive in support of the Caesars this last season. I think one guy we particularly need to mention is Mehmet Tanir. I hope I pronounced your name correctly there, Mehmet. Big New England Patriots fan, but he's also a massive supporter of the Caesars. He's always active online and during home games, so more than likely going to be in the stadium this afternoon, we think. And he looks like he's somebody who's going to be coming to join you next year, Coach.
Oh, that's always good. I can always have more players. I think if it's all right with you, I'd like to do the next shout out because he's a man on my own heart, as it were. So when we get a chance to shout him out.
So first and goal again. Sorry, second. Oh, close. Dan pitches the ball to the left.
It's not.
Is that J-Rob? Oh no, number 47. Number 47 for it is Jason Robinson.
Switch shirts. He's tricked you.
Trying to keep us on our toes. So Jason wearing number 47 today.
We're already on our toes. Steve forgot the chairs.
If we sat down, we wouldn't be able to see anything. But anyway, so it brings up 3rd and goal, and they've actually lost 3 yards. So after a real impressive opening drive where the chains moved quite freely, Nottingham seemed just to be stagnating a little bit. So 3rd and goal. Johnson again in the backfield. Same formation. Here comes that jet sweep, and he fakes it this time, and he's got a man wide open, but he's got the same man. He's got number 11, who runs to the 3-yard line. Natal once again. So heavily involved in this first opening drive, but that will bring up 4th down. Be really interesting to see what Nottingham do. 4th and goal from the 4-yard line.
I think it's right in saying this is Natal's first game for the Caesars. He has been at NTU this year, and he's done a great job.
I believe we've got a couple of players. Each and every week we tend to get new signings and people coming to training and trying to get them onto the roster in time. But I believe we've got a couple of guys.
Joe Pearce, yes. He's
another NTU
running back that plays alongside my running back, Robbie Jones.
So on 4th down, Davidas with the hold and Johnson with the kick, and the kick is no good. No good. Looks to be wide left. No signal yet, but wide left would suggest the outcome of that one. So after a really successful drive, and a really drive that would give the offense some buoyancy, they do crumble a little bit inside the 10-yard line.
The good news for the Caesars is they know how to move the ball.
They do, and they've already seen the weakness points on that Doncaster defence. So Doncaster will take over, and I suppose the only bonus to missing that field goal is that Doncaster will be on their 20-yard line and no further up the field. So we await Doncaster's offence. So I think number 7 there, according to our information, is Tim Adams at quarterback. Looks to the left and finds Ainsley Corley with an initial pickup. Do apologise if I've got that slightly incorrect in terms of quarterback, but my information says it's Tim Adams at quarterback for the Mustangs. Try and see if we can get that checked out and verified for you. Got contradicting information in front of me. But anyway, a pickup of 5 yards on 1st down. We'll bring up 2nd and 5 from Doncaster's 25-yard line. Once again, similar formation that these Division 1 teams seem to be running. Quarterback drops back. He's got a man. Oh, and it's incomplete.
Big hit from Rob. Big hit.
Rob's looking to get into the game and be the first of the punch whenever he can. So, always good for a DB to let the receiver know he's there, whether he catches the ball or not. I know when I used to play, Coach Bosley always said to me, as a receiver, you're going to get hit whether you catch the ball or not, so you may as well catch the ball and then take the hit, as opposed to it fall off your fingertips and be worried about what's coming.
And you still didn't catch any.
Oh, that's going to be a flag against Nottingham this time. So a free play, and he's got a man, and he's hit that man. That's number 25 for Doncaster, Sam Broughton. There is a flag on the play, but that will be for offsides against Nottingham. So the chances are that penalty will be declined and Doncaster will accept.
Offside. Defence. That penalty will be declined. 1st down.
So there we go. Big pick up through the air for Doncaster.
No, I think that will worry the Caesars defence a little bit, particularly as the DB they've just beaten deep is Rob Hardwick. I'm sure Rob will knock it off, but it's going to be a slight concern.
So, just as Nottingham moved the ball early on in their first possession, Doncaster appear to be doing the same. And I was about to say, it does seem that the majority of teams in this conference are all running from this similar formation, this spread formation with 2 receivers either side, the pistol formation and a running back just slightly offset. Seems to open the field up nicely. So here we go, 1st down Doncaster on Nottingham's 28-yard line. Low snap, but it's picked up and he's going for the man again. He's got a man and just overthrown number 80.
Some good pressure there from Mike Thompson.
Paul Oates, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. This is the point where defenses talk about bending but not breaking. Okay, let the offense pick up a number of yards, but when they get close to your own goal line, that's the time to solidify and make those stops, just as unfortunately as Farnham did earlier on today on a number of occasions.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. And now's really the time where you see a defense toughen up. Well, you'd like to see a defense toughen up.
In the first few weeks, defense has really been the key for Nottingham, so let's see if they can end up, and the flag's there, that will more than likely be a false start. Here comes Brian Yates.
False start, number 81. Offence, 5-yard penalty. It remains 2nd down.
And that's Matt Bate with the false start for Doncaster. So a little bit of pressure relief for Nottingham. Doncaster will have 2nd and about 14 on Nottingham's 32-yard line. Here we go again then. Same formation, spread formation again from the pistol. Adams has the ball, drops back. There's a pressure from the outside. He's got a man on the swing. And I think, oh, now that's going to be interesting. That was close to being a lateral. But I think they have deemed that to be a forward pass. So therefore, incomplete and play will stop due to that ball hitting the floor. George is doing it. Okay. So 1st down. Doncaster look deep again. They've got a man, but Hardwick's there, and he's got good coverage on the play. We've got another sideline assistant today. Unfortunately, Spence can't be with us today due to well, his wife being pregnant, if I'm honest with you. So we've got one of our junior players. Tom, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you too.
Big shoes to fill from Spence 2 weeks ago. Are you up for it?
Almost too big.
I think he's got size 11 feet anyway. 12 feet, so pretty big.
What have you got for us so far then, Tom?
Well, the seniors they're definitely stepping up. Obviously following the juniors' role because obviously we smashed Farnham today. So they have to follow in our footsteps really, and judging by the performance so far, they're doing a good job.
Indeed. Just so you're aware, Tom, we try and be a little bit impartial here on Caesars TV. Even though we are Caesars TV, we're here for all oppositions and all audiences. And you should be very proud of your performance this afternoon. And excited. But you're now impartial on the sideline, my friend.
All right, no worries.
All right. We'll catch you later. So, a good defensive stand there in the end, and Doncaster do punt the ball back to Nottingham. It's a high kick, but doesn't gain a great deal of ground. And so sort of the equivalent of a touchback. Nottingham will take over on about their 18-yard line, I believe.
I think I have to ask for everybody, and I know you guys at home can't see this, but what is in that container?
My wife's in the stadium this afternoon and come to support us and watch us as our 2 children are out with some friends today, so and she's bought me a fruit smoothie. I'm renowned for not eating a great deal of fruit, so I've got a concoction I'll let you know in a little bit. And Johnson goes over the middle, and he had Ash for around about a 20-yard pickup, but he just put that ball short, sort of sidearmed it a little bit, and it took a one-hopper before the ball actually arrived at Ash.
But Ash open again.
Yeah, and it's that same seam over the middle, sort of a skinny post down there. Down the middle, and Doncaster don't seem to be picking that up yet. Safety playing quite deep and giving Nottingham those opportunities.
Yeah, they'll have to pick up that inside coverage because Dan will utilise that if he gets the chance.
He's really matured these last couple of years as a quarterback and as the leader on that offense. Good height for a quarterback as well. He's looking again. He's got that same pattern, and number 25, Cameron Bell, again
exactly the same pattern as last time that Ash tried to run, that skinny post, and that is a pickup of first down yardage. So, we just to let you know, we've sought some confirmation on the Doncaster quarterback situation, and by all accounts, the quarterback out there is Pete Rogers. We've got Pete Rogers down as number 16 on our information here, but we do believe Pete Rogers is quarterback number 7 today for Doncaster. Oh! Davidas, it was the intended receiver across the middle that time, but caught up in a little bit of traffic, and that ball sailed dangerously close to a Mustang defender. Can you hear me? So, once again, we're going to try and confirm that quarterback for Doncaster. Johnson's got a man. He's going for Bell again over the top. Oh, but he just throws that ball out of bounds. But there is a flag on the play this time. It was a wide snap that Dan had to move to his right to try and collect. He did successfully manage to grab hold of it and threw a bit of a wild ball out of bounds for.
There is a flag on the field there.
There is. Let's listen to Brian.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 90 on the defence, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So obviously that personal foul penalty, roughing the passer, means more than likely a late hit on Dan, so he's released that ball and then the defenders continued into him. And it's been deemed that the defender did have time to pull out and not make the tackle. So a personal foul penalty will move the chains 15 yards and give Nottingham an automatic first down. So hopefully now, as they move into Doncaster territory once again, they're going to have a little bit of a momentum now to get that ball going. Don't think we've seen a run yet.
Natal's running a couple times.
On that jet sweep. Whoop. Johnson not quite ready for the pass that time. He's got a man again, but he's overthrown Davidas this time. He did have Davidas down the seam there, but put a little bit too much on it. Davidas seemed to be moving at half pace for much of that route.
I think we noticed this last game when they played Sandwell here, that neither team really ran the ball, which surprises me. You know, we've watched Natal run, and he's run on the jet sweep, and he's made 15, 20 yards.
So once again, it'll be 2nd and 10. So we really enjoyed you guys getting in touch with us last time out 2 weeks ago. If you want to drop us a message on Twitter or any of the other outlets that we're working on this afternoon, then please do. Mehmet's in motion. He does get, that's Natal rather. Natal in motion again on that jet sweep to the left this time, and he picks up what appears to be enough for a first down, right on the marker.
Now, it's interesting. At the Renegades, he actually plays as a DB. I think particularly safety. So it's interesting to see him on the offense.
Well, he's obviously got some gas. I mean, he's
well, definitely, yeah.
You know,
he's an athlete. He's a pure athlete.
And anytime you give anybody a running start like that, particularly on that jet sweep type play, then the defense are always on the back foot right from the moment that play begins. Run it 3 times so far, Nottingham, and it's picked up good yardage each time. So, first down Nottingham, and it's a handoff this time to Jason Robinson, who goes backwards and tries to get back to the line of scrimmage, and just is about 4 yards short of that line of scrimmage.
Defense picked that really well.
Some great penetration through the offensive line there by that Doncaster defense. Brings up 2nd and long. Just a little bit flat in the stadium at the moment. Obviously,
sometimes the crowd feed off the players, and other times the players feed off the crowd. He trips this time, trips to the right for Dan. He's got a man, and it's nearly with the ball battered down by Doncaster that time, trying to go for that skinny post again. That's number 58 on the pass breakup, Lewis Cobb, getting himself in on the action. Not quite as sunny an afternoon now as it was a fortnight ago, but still looking around, a decent crowd in again. Doncaster obviously not being too far away from Harvey Haddam Stadium. Going to have some travelling fans in here as well, supporting the Mustangs. So, and that is a timeout called by the Caesars. So really a bit of an up and down sort of game so far, moving the chains quite nicely, both teams.
Timeout Caesars, first timeout, 6 minutes left in the first quarter.
Not dissimilar to the way the junior game started earlier on. Obviously that first quarter you guys played 10-minute quarters.
Yes.
And that first quarter seemed to go in the blink of an eye.
Well, I think we got a drive in each, but it's nice to see, particularly at a junior level, where usually you have one team dominate and they go up and down the field all day long. Both this game and the last game at the Lions, I think it's fair to say, air quotes really, we played proper football. We did. We had proper drives.
Yeah.
Defense and offense both did what they were supposed to do. We had a few first downs. We had a few fourth downs. It wasn't straight down the field. It was good, solid football.
And as you say, at junior level, sometimes all it tends to be is sort of handing the ball off, three and out. But in order to move the chains and sustain the drive is really positive for
absolutely.
The future of football in this country.
And we had a pre-season game against the Leeds Assassins, and we put 40 points past them. In fact, it was 40-26, I think. And they went on later in this season, and they've put 60 points past somebody. And that's the sort of score you can see in junior levels.
Absolutely. So, Nottingham back on the ball, 3rd and long. 3 receivers to the left this time for Johnston. He looks again. He's got plenty of time in the pocket. He's lofted a beautiful pass.
Natal in coverage.
Lofted that pass over the linebacker. The linebacker at full stretch. Couldn't quite get his hand to it. And Natal moves the chains on 3rd down.
I think air quotes again, really. Perfect pass.
Never tell Dan Johnson he's made a perfect pass.
No, his head's already too big.
It is.
It's getting like Peyton Manning. No offence, Peyton, if you are watching in the world.
Oh, and if you are watching, Peyton, hit us up on Twitter, please. So, once again, Nottingham inside the Doncaster 20. 1st and 10 on Doncaster's 18-yard line. Back to the original spread formation with low snap, and this time, it looks like a bit of a face mask at the end there that might not have been picked up by the officials, but the Nottingham sideline definitely went up as if they saw a grab of Robinson's face mask.
Following on quickly, actually, about Peyton Manning. I mean, is it worth asking Rocky? Can Rocky hook us up?
Hey,
Can Rocky hook? Has he got it on his mobile? Or sell if you're over there, Peyton. Rocky's here. Where are you?
For those of you just joining us, we do have a former NFL player, Rocky Boyman, who's joined us this afternoon. And the reason we're going with the Peyton link is he was Peyton's teammate during the last time that the Colts won the Super Bowl at the end of the 2006 season. So we'll see what we can do and see if we can get Peyton anywhere near us this afternoon. So Dan again on 1st down. He looks left, he looks to the right. He's got Ash. Ash makes a nice catch, but now comes back in bounds and fumbles the ball, and Doncaster appear to have jumped on that loose football. And I do believe, yes, referee Brian Yates signals that it is 1st down Doncaster. And again, another promising Nottingham drive falters just close to Doncaster.
I think Ash will be disappointed with himself there. He knows better than that.
Made a nice grab as well.
He did.
Coming back
he made
to the
a very
ball
nice grab.
Made sure his feet were in bounds.
Yeah, perhaps he should have turned the other way and gone out of bounds. But I think he made the right decision.
It's always difficult as a receiver. Are you happy with the yards you make on a catch, or do you try and turn upfield and just fight for those extra yards?
Well, I don't think you were ever happy with the yards you made, were you?
And the silence is evident of how I'm treating that statement. So 1st down Doncaster. Rogers back to throw. He hits his number 1, and he misses. He's still going. So Corley again with the reception. Number 32 for Nottingham, Adam Wilson, was the first man there, but unfortunately he couldn't wrap him up.
Adam a little bit slow to get up there. I don't know if he's just tweaked an ankle. He does seem to be carrying on though.
So a good gain on first down for Doncaster, bringing up 2nd and a couple. I'm kind of hoping after the outing for Nottingham last week, Nottingham visited the Birmingham Bulls last week and ran out 37-34 winners in a game that saw the lead change 6 different times. I'm hoping we get some of that this afternoon, rather than, as good as the Sandwell experience was, and there was some good football played, they didn't light the scoreboard up too much, and Rogers looking to, and he's got a man, and that's an incredible throw and catch. Really tough catch over the shoulder there.
Now that's twice Rob's been beat deep there. Do you think it'll be getting into his head?
Rob's the sort of character who's got a very short memory, both as a football player but also as a human being. And from that perspective, you've almost just got to forget that last play, and I'm sure Rob's been playing this game long enough to understand that. But Dan Horrocks there, number 26 for Doncaster, has hauled that one in and that ball it must have travelled maybe 45 yards through the air there from Rogers.
Absolutely. I think Horrocks has got some speed, and I think the DBs maybe just need to take a step off.
So, 1st and 10 inside Nottingham's 20 now for Doncaster. Shows how quickly things can change around from Nottingham sort of being up in the front foot. Now Doncaster,
sack.
And sack and fumble. Sack, fumble. And that's the one and only Andrew Wilkins, who's piled through the defensive line for that sack.
You cannot allow that man to get that much space to hit your quarterback, because he will.
And from the momentum that Doncaster gained on that long pass the play before, Nottingham steal it straight back with that strip sack, as it were, and fumble recovery. And Dan and the offense retake the field for their next possession. So here come the Nottingham offense again. Once again, trips to the left. One man to the right. Here comes Natal in motion again. This time it's not the sweep. It's just for Johnson to have a look at what the defense are planning to do. Oh, he puts. I think that's may have slipped out of his hand slightly on that release, and therefore Davidas catches the ball, but 3 yards out of bounds.
Now going back to Birmingham and obviously Nottingham's victory on a pick 6. Yourself, you've been a head coach, and obviously I've filled your shoes, maybe a little bit better. But what's going through a head coach's mind when he doesn't take a knee in that situation?
It's very difficult to say. Obviously, each head coach approaches games differently. Obviously, from my perspective, I wasn't at the game, so I don't know the flow of the game. I don't know how risky it was. But ordinarily, you would, especially in a game that's been so backwards and forwards and lead changes after lead change, when you've got that lead that late in the game. And that has now been called a fumble. A fumble and a turnover from Cameron Bell. Cameron caught the ball, made a nice move upfield, gained about 7 or 8 yards, and then was tackled, and it appears that the referees are saying the ball came out before he was actually on the floor, and therefore Doncaster take over again. Coach Bosley, who's obviously been running the season for 32 years now. This is the 32nd consecutive season he's been running the outfit, and he's obviously known for his passion and sometimes for letting his mouth get away with him. He's taken a step back this year a little bit, and they've got former player Adi Giles running the offense. Adi Giles and Vanden Warner, in fact. Vanden Warner's the offensive coordinator this year. And Barry has tried to take a bit of a back seat this year, but when there's plays like that, you saw him out on the field 3 or 4 yards in there trying to state his case to the referee. But we're now, it looks like there's a discussion taking place. Let's listen to what Brian has to tell us. I think they were just marking where the football was going to be. So yes, so it is Doncaster first down off that controversial turnover. Doncaster now, 3 receivers to the right. Almost seem to be echoing what Nottingham are doing. And here comes Wilkins up the middle again, and the ball is handed off this time.
A big hit by Bash.
Bash by name. Bash by nature. Fills that gap in the middle there and stops that Doncaster running back for a gain of 3. So yeah, I mean, conventional wisdom, back to the Birmingham game, would think you've got that win, it's secure, you take a knee. But I say, every head coach is different, and obviously the Birmingham head coach will know what was in his mind at that time.
I don't think he'll be doing it again. Well, you'd like to think not.
So, second down Doncaster, 2nd and 7 from the Nottingham 26. 3 to the right again. Looks back to pass, and it's a little receiver bubble screen this time. And that is enough for first down yardage, it would appear again. Hello, good afternoon to Hennessy CDM Jed. It's a balanced game at the moment. It absolutely is. Could end up being similar to the Sandwell game a fortnight ago. I don't know if it's something about the Harvey had an environment that means we get low scoring games. We tried the same play to the other side. Oh, it's met
picked up by Wilkins.
Met by a bunch of Caesars. Number 88. Number 88 there for Doncaster. So we believe number 88 there, who's just made those last couple of receptions, is Paul Weston. So 2nd and 11 now for Doncaster, just outside the Nottingham 20. Rogers looks one way, he's got a man, he's going for Hardwick again, and Hardwick makes a great play in the end zone to bat the ball away.
Roaming Rob. Roaming Rob, I think that's what we're going to call him.
Or Hardwick Island, or something like that, yeah.
No, I prefer
Roaming Rob, okay.
Mine was better.
You like the alliteration, do you?
I do. What's alliteration? I know you're a PE teacher by trade, but I was never very good at English.
There are many strings to my bow. So, 3rd down coming up for Doncaster. Again, 20 yards out. It's interesting. The head coach was telling me before the game that they have watched the Nottingham tape from the Birmingham game last week, and it is interesting. They seem to be picking on Rob.
Yeah, it's a surprise. But then again, you know, these two teams faced each other again last year. So this is...
Oh, low snap. He's got a man this time. Oh, just overthrown Corley over the middle. So that will bring up 4th down for Doncaster. Sorry,
yeah,
George.
It's not the first time that Doncaster and the Caesars have come face to face. Of course, our first live stream last year was against the Mustangs at Southglade.
So yeah, that's really where all this came from. Steve had the idea. So really, that's where this idea came from. Steve had the idea last year to try and get something like this together and put a really good production on a shoestring. Oh, he's got his man again, and a nice move from Corley inside the 10-yard line, still on his feet, and pushed out of bounds at about the 2. Yeah, it was the very first game that we did last year against Doncaster. And unfortunately, Doncaster experienced a lengthy injury, so we were on air a little longer than we thought we were going to be.
I think that's an understatement. 5 hours, was it 5 hours? Yeah.
And
that was a long day.
Steve still wanted to pursue the idea even after that.
Well, it's nice to be back home at the Harvey Hadden Stadium. You know, it's a long way from the wilds of Southglade, as it were.
It is. And again, for the younger lads, the under-19s to play in an environment like this is just a wonderful place to play, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
So, 1st and goal, Doncaster on Nottingham's 2-yard line. Rogers looks to pass again. He drops back. He's got a man. Oh, and it's bounced off a player's lid. Didn't quite catch who that was. In fact, somebody's even lost a helmet. Number 24 for Nottingham.
It's Kieran Matthews. Baby Bash.
Baby Bash, yeah. Appears to be not requiring all of his equipment on the field.
Well, he's not got anything up there anyway, so.
I'm not sure it's polite to be discourteous to players.
It's Baby Bash.
Oh, okay.
It's Baby Bash.
Okay.
So, to be honest, he said every time I use his name, he's going to give me £1. So, you know.
Funny, we had a similar conversation when I was down there.
Yeah, it's
in
funny,
fact, my wife
innit?
can probably
Yeah.
verify that. Yeah, she's nodding. That's good.
So that's what, £5 you owe us? Baby bash, baby bash, baby bash.
We know where you live. Second and goal. Oh! Jumped offside this time, so that was Wilkins offside. So that basically a free play.
I'm going to get another one in because I've got bills to pay. Baby bash.
So basically a free play there for Doncaster, but fortunately it was incomplete. Here comes Brian.
Yeah, baby bash and Big
Offside,
Bash there,
defence, half distance to the goal, replay second down. Time expired during the play, this is an untimed down.
So that is the end of the first quarter after this play. As time expired during that last play, so they'll replay because of the penalty, and then we'll, depending on what happens, march down to the other end of the field. So once again, here we go, second and goal for Doncaster. Two receivers split each side. Rogers back to pass. Oh no, he hands it up the middle this time, and there's a missed tackle. And number 81 for Doncaster, Matt Bate.
Very nice running, another strong running back.
And bounced off a tackle which would have been for a loss. So just shows how important it is to keep your legs moving as a running back and try and bounce off those tackles, keeping your centre of gravity rather really low to the ground. So Doncaster opened the scoring right at the end of the first quarter. Tom, are you with us? Okay, obviously the end of the first quarter. How are you seeing things playing out from pitch level?
Well, both teams are playing very strong, and just the end run there just punched it in. Good drive up the field, but just shame about the penalty at the end.
Obviously being a juniors player down there, Tom, what sort of benefit do you take from being down with obviously the next level up? Are you taking bits and bobs from the game?
Well, early on in the season I was training a lot with the senior O-line, and that really propelled me forwards as an O-lineman. Because with obviously Lard as our coach, he really gets us working, and propelled me forward as a player and a person.
So what are your plans for next year? Obviously, are you still with the juniors? Are you moving up a level? What's the deal?
I won't be with the juniors anymore because I'm too old.
Okay.
So more than likely we'll be with the seniors.
Okay, excellent, good stuff. Thanks, Tom. We'll try and catch you again later in the second quarter.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Lewis Tufnell. Just tuned in to Don versus Not, first time watching. Come on, you Mustangs. Well, thank you for your stream this afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Hope we're giving you a decent experience of the game.
Oh, I think we've got a dating channel going now. It's 66 for Donny Single.
It's 66 for Donny Single. So number 66, Jerome Cronin. Oh, Bash just put a shoulder on somebody. Mickey Fisher's lost the ball, but fortunately, Chris King is there to drop on it and mop up the fumble by Fisher.
I hope for Jerome's sake that wasn't an ex-girlfriend chasing him.
I'm intrigued to know, if you're watching on the stream, how you can tell what he looks like from there. So, after another slight scare, Nottingham take over on their 21-yard line. So the stadium's a little flat at the moment, and I'm hoping that Mr. Cusworth can try and get the crowd going a little bit.
We seem to be getting a lot of tweets from Doncaster Mustangs fans, which will be nice for the away game, the away team, particularly when they watch this back.
You would kind of hope that's because the Nottingham people are actually in the stadium.
Well, you'd like to think so.
You'd like to think that. But anyway, but yeah, Oddsocked then. Very impressed with the streaming. Looks amazing.
Oh, big,
he's got
big
a man.
play by Ash.
And Ash has got a big 30-yard pickup over the middle. And he sits bouncing a little bit. Ash is not short of a little bit of confidence out on the field.
No, he never is.
So I'm sure he'll let his opposite number know about that pickup.
So Oddsock, very impressed with the streaming. Looks amazing. So wish I was there supporting at Donny Mustangs. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your time tweeting.
You know, I'm kind of curious to know if 66 is actually single, and I think we should do the honourable thing and get an answer for her.
Tom, you've got a job. You've got a job. Find out what 66's
relationship
marital
status
is.
Yes.
I'm not joking.
Find out at half time.
There you go. I'm not joking. Do it. So trips to the right for Dan. Dan looks right. Oh! Number 9, Andrew Lovett. Takes his eye off the ball. So important. You'll know, obviously, when I'm sort of helping out a little bit when I do with my receivers, we always talk about the first thing you catch the ball with is your eyes. You obviously make sure that you secure that ball right in your hands before you turn that head upfield. And I think he's just a little bit too concerned with where that defender was rather than making sure he made the grab.
Brave words using your receivers or my receivers.
Second down, trips again to the right. Oh, good play there. Number 52. Number 52 for Doncaster that time. Richard Welburn leaning over the back of the Nottingham receiver and tipping the ball down. You know, George, I'm finding it hard to let go of your team.
I'm fully aware of that. Every Wednesday night. Amanda was supposed to be keeping you under lock and key, but she's failing miserably.
Well, I'll stop coming if you don't want me to. That's fine.
Please do.
I'll have a tiff on air, please. Let's try and keep it professional.
Tiff is just some back and forth.
3rd and 10 now. Big third down again for Nottingham after that pick up from Ash. Dan's rolling to his right. He's got a man, but he underthrows him again. Difficult to throw with any power while you've got pressure coming from the backside of that offensive line. And once again, after a promising start from that reception from Ash, Nottingham go 3 and out on that particular set of 4 downs and will punt the ball back to Donny. Sam Folds, we believe, back to return the kick. And Cameron Bell will kick it away for Nottingham. Good snap. Good kick again. He had a great outing last time, Cameron did, against Sandwell. And it takes a Caesar's bounce. Can they stop it from hitting into the end zone? And they don't. They actually, unfortunately, push it back into the end zone, which means it will be a touchback.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. It would have been a great position for the defense to be starting in.
Fantastic kick again from Bell, though, to obviously get that ball spiraling through the air when you're punting it. Really is a skill in itself. So let's see if Doncaster can build on their lead. Offense have had time to rest.
No, I think looking at the reports I've read and the predictions as well, leading into that Doncaster-Sandwell game, obviously a bit of a shock, would you say?
Well, I put that to their coach last week, but earlier before the game when I managed to catch up with him, and yeah, obviously he feels that Doncaster don't necessarily get the respect that they deserve around the league, and obviously to him, it wasn't an upset because that's what they prepared for. He said that he watched the stream of the Caesars Sandwell game and kind of knew what to expect, and it's fumbled. And let's see who's got that back.
A Doncaster recovery.
It looks like it probably was. It was a Doncaster man fell down there first. Still fighting, but they are saying Doncaster maintain possession. Yeah, so Coach Weston was saying to me earlier on, having watched the Steelers Sandwell game and seeing not only what Sandwell could do, both offense and defense, but equally Nottingham, they felt they matched up pretty well against them. So
yeah, and I mean, to be fair, at the end of last season, Doncaster actually came away victors.
They did.
Again, another close game though.
Yeah, 2 points I think that was. I think they won by 2 at the end. But anyway, Rogers back to pass. He's got a man again. Oh!
Laid
and
out.
It is intercepted, is it? Oh, it's being called incomplete. It's being called incomplete. Rob Hardwick thought he'd made the pick there off the tip pass.
Stephen Brown with the huge hit. Absolutely thunderous.
And as much as coaches will say, you may as well catch the ball because you're going to get hit anyway. There's certain times where...
Well, he should have caught the ball. Should have caught the ball. At least he'd have been laid out and made a few yards as well.
On the sidelines, they're calling to review that footage.
Right, let's have a quick look. No, Steve's gone elsewhere, so we can't get any replay. Anyway, Rogers back to pass again. He's got a man again, and it's Corsley again over the middle. Corley again, rather. Picks up first down yardage.
Seems to be the hot favourite receiver today.
Nottingham need to be careful here, because while the score's still 6-0, they'll feel they can obviously maybe get back into this one, but with the game being as tight as it has midway through the second quarter, another touchdown on the board could make things very difficult. Let's see who else we've got on the shout-outs here. Hello, and a shout-out to Ben Raven, Baltimore Ravens fan. Shows us a lot of support online.
It's a shame he's a Ravens fan.
It is, but with a... Well, surely his surname actually isn't Ben Raven. Oh, great grab there. Great grab by number 80 for Doncaster. Paul Oates with the reception. Diving, moving his body one way, and managed to dive back the other way to make the grab. So, yeah, Ben, all being well, you're watching us, and thanks for all your support online. It is all very much appreciated. And while we're on this sort of this tip, we have all being well Becca Frew we'd like to give a shout out to. Becca's the daughter of long-time Caesar Darren Frew. Always posting and showing us lots of love on Instagram and on Facebook, so we thank you once again for your support so far and throughout the rest of the season. 2nd and 4 for Doncaster. Trips again to the left, looks like looking for a swing pass, but again he's going over the top, and there's a man this time, and he's got him again. It's Corley again with the reception.
Stephen Brown again with the final tackle.
But in between two Caesars, so a really accurate pass there from Rogers, no flags on the play. And once again, Donny move inside the Nottingham 30-yard line.
Adam Wilson will be a little bit disappointed that he didn't quite get that football. Playing DB there for the Caesars.
Unfortunately, I mean, Adam being the rookie and still learning, but making a really valuable contribution so far all season long. Unfortunately, it was Adam who was beaten on the only touchdown when Sandwell visited 2 weeks ago. But you learn, you grow, and you get better and better. First down, Donny on the Nottingham 29-yard line. Trips to the right. Rogers this time throws the ball, tosses the ball backwards to number 81.
Mickey Fisher read that, well, fantastically well, really. Straight on there for a couple of yards loss.
May even, well, in fact, looking at
well,
that.
Five yards, looking at it,
Big loss on first down. So again, the bend and break philosophy coming into play.
Absolutely.
I must at this point, because I forgot to last a fortnight ago, I must give a shout out and a massive thank you for all the support that my wife, the lovely Amanda Walker, and my two sons, Dan and Alex, have given me over the last few years.
For those of you at home.
From coaching and whilst doing this new venture this year. Pete Rogers again, looking over the top, and he's got Corley again. He's got Corley inside the 10-yard line, and it's deemed a catch. Another fantastic throw and catch from Rogers to Corley, and it's 1st and goal on the 5-yard line.
So when do the Caesars start worrying about these deep passes that are coming in?
I think now. I think they need to definitely make some adjustments, whether it's showing the receivers a little more respect and therefore backing off them a touch, allowing the completion underneath and not allowing that deep ball, because Rogers obviously has got a strong arm and an accurate arm over distance. So yes, once again, thank you to the wonderful Amanda Walker. Rogers looks to pass, and he's missed his man.
Yeah, well covered by Hardwick.
Number 18 that time, Kieran Ruane, with the attempted completion. Bring up 2nd and goal for Doncaster.
Slight technical glitch.
Steve's just been on the sideline networking with Darren Fletcher and Ricky Boyman.
Just going to point out that Darren Fletcher and Rocky both said that was a touchdown.
Well,
they are the pros in this field.
Well, clearly not. Something's gone wrong. Has he hooked us up with Manning? Do we know?
I did go down and ask.
2nd and goal, Doncaster. This time it's up the middle. Got a big man in the backfield there, but that's really well read. Really well read by... Who's that? Number 24. That's Baby Bash. Baby Bash.
Baby Bash.
That's 3 times.
Yeah, Baby Bash. He's running up a bill.
Yeah.
He is running up a bill.
And it's his own fault. So 3rd and goal this time now, after the loss of 4 on the play. Looking towards Steve, I believe we're going to be getting Darren Fletcher and Rocky up at half-time for...
Yeah.
Thanks for that input.
They do want to come up, actually, and kick you out and have a go.
Well, if you want to do that and you want to hand over to amateurs, then that's completely up to you, Steve.
I mean, I'll walk. You know, Baby Bash already owes me some money, so I'm paid. You know.
So again, incomplete pass on 3rd down, which again brings up 4th down. Bend and break. Bend, not break. Once again, the philosophy for Nottingham. So on 4th down there, the pass from Rogers just a little too high for his intended receiver, Andy Cotton. So a real crucial stop there on defence from Nottingham. I suppose the thinking there from Doncaster was, well, don't fancy a chance at field goal. Obviously no point punting it on 4th down. If we can get that extra touchdown lead, it's going to be vital, and if we don't, Nottingham start inside their own 10-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, there's the same sort of call I had to make earlier today, and I did exactly the same thing.
Tom, are you there?
I am.
Just wondered, my friend, a little bit more research for you. We're wondering how long there might be left in the half. I don't know if there's any way you can have a word with...
I'll go and have a word with the official.
See what you can do for us. See what time Nottingham have got to try and make a comeback again. Dan's got a man, and it's Davidas took his eyes off that ball that time as well.
Well, again, you know, another DB flying in at you. You know, do you think ball or do you think safety?
You can't think safety because he was nowhere near the end zone to be tackled.
Well, no.
I know what you mean.
You
I
are,
know.
You know.
You've got to think ball because that's what you're out there to do. You're a receiver.
Yeah.
You're out there to catch the ball. As much as you're going to get punished.
I think we can go down to Harvey.
Here we go.
There's 8 minutes left in this half.
8 minutes left in the 2nd quarter. Okay, that's good to know. So Nottingham got plenty of time to try and make a comeback, but they really do need to get out of the shadows of their own goalpost. Oh, it's a low snap, and Dan's going to have to just drop on that. And he does drop on it, and that's going to put Nottingham in a real difficult position on 3rd and 17 from their own half-yard line.
What sort of play would you run here? Would you just try and get it out and take a punt next play?
Well, ordinarily, you'd try and just keep it safe, run the ball, maybe gain a couple of yards and punt. But with the penetration that Doncaster have had against that Nottingham O-line, that running the ball may prove costly. So we'll see. And Nottingham obviously haven't been afraid to pass from anywhere on the field in either of the games that we've covered so far. So it wouldn't surprise me if Johnson comes out passing. Regardless, whatever you run from here, it's dangerous. It's fraught with danger one way or another. So it looks like Nottingham appear, just waiting for an official from referee Brian Yates. It would have fit.
Timeout. Caesars, 6:46.
So there we go, with 6:46 left in the second quarter. Nottingham are going to talk about this because it could be a real pivotal decision. Let's head back to see if we can thank on 3rd and 17 from their own half-yard line.
Very, very brave call. It's just now.
And equally, the crowd are showing the support in the stadium as well. So if we can, if the play on the field can fire that crowd up, hopefully they can feed off that energy as well out on the field. So first down, Nottingham. Bit of a hurry-up offence now. Dan again, he's got a man. Oh, just on the back shoulder that time of Davidas, who switched sides to the right.
Now I think people around the league are probably looking at Davidas now as a real Caesars threat. He's been absolutely dominant for the time that he's played the game. Teams are going to start, or you'd like to think they're going to start strategizing against him.
He came in for a little bit of stick the last couple of weeks because of a post that he made on a private post, and before we just cut back to Jason Robinson, who's cut it up the middle, and he's still on his feet, and he's up to around the Doncaster 11-yard line after a pickup of 23. But yeah, Davidas is a real talented receiver, and we mentioned this 2 weeks ago. He's one of Dan Johnson's go-to guys as things have transpired. Picked up 2 TDs last week, and again, hurry-up offense. Johnson straight back to the line, trying to catch Donny Nappin, and he got
Ash again.
Yeah, Ash, and he's cutting backwards again. He's kind of going the wrong way, reversing field, and he's actually gone completely back to where Dan threw the ball from. So a gain of 6 on the initial catch, but then he's run backwards towards Johnson.
That's not smart football. You can't run backwards. You can't do that in any sport.
So 2nd and 10. So Nottingham retake the field. 2nd and 15. Trips to the left. Wonder if they'll go back to that jet sweep anytime soon. Not seen it for a while.
I think Doncaster is set up. I think they're kind of suspecting it, looking at the width that their box players are playing.
They are packing the box, yeah. And that's a pass over the middle again. Didn't really. It seemed to be some confusion between Natal and Davidas, although I think Davidas is also remonstrating the fact he felt he might have been held rather on that pattern he was running.
I think we talked a lot about this Caesar's defense last time, particularly who the threats are. I mean, who would you say currently is obviously we've talked about Davidas already, and Dan briefly, but you know where else is there strength on this team?
Well, obviously, as you said, Natal making his first start. He's obviously slipped into the offense, and he's a role player, but knows his role and has slotted into that role really effectively as Dan drops back, looks to the left. He's got a man again, and it is Natal. And Natal picks up. Natal picks up close.
Where are they going to put that down, do you think? 4 yards?
It's looking like the 4-yard line, which is just going to be, I think, just shy of a first down. But yeah, so Natal's obviously perfect timing, has slotted into the offensive scheme really, really well. Ash has got a great pair of hands, and Dan obviously trusts him. He just needs to make sure he runs forwards. And we've not seen a great deal of Jason Robinson, but again, in the last game that we watched, Jason was very effective from the backfield as well. That offensive line, though, today, Dan doesn't seem to be under a great deal of pressure, so the offensive line, as the season goes on, are gelling.
I mean, it's the strongest line I think the Caesars have had for a number of years.
It is. Big play, 4th down. Oh!
A brave throw there.
So, unfortunately, that is a turnover on downs again. But Doncaster are deep in their own territory.
And again, I think, the Caesars have this ability to move the football. They're just not punching it in. And it's the same for Doncaster. I know they've got 1 score up, but again, they're moving the football, and we saw it down there with the last 4 and out. Not quite punching it in yet. Maybe not just that killer instinct yet.
Between the 20s, it seems much easier to move the ball, and once we get into those red zones, those defenses are really proving why they are 2 of the best defenses in the league. So let's see if Nottingham can put any pressure on here and force maybe. Oh, that's a good pass again. And Corley's got that ball on a slant up towards first down yardage. May well just be a yard shy.
4th, 5th catch for Corley there.
Got really quick feet though. I don't know if you've seen as he explodes off the line.
They're too quick. That's the issue.
As he explodes off the line, though, the cuts he's making, he's really precise with his cuts.
I think we ought to call him Happy Feet. Well, I think I'm just going to go through this game giving people nicknames.
Okay, all right then.
We've got Happy Feet, Happy Feet.
You need to. Well, I'm Roaming Rob.
Roaming
they're
Rob
the best 2
Happy
you
Feet.
can come up with.
I think they're pretty good. I mean, people, you know, the folks at home could tweet in with some nicknames if they wanted to.
If you know any players here and you know any actual nicknames that they do have that we might not know, whether it's Doncaster or Nottingham, or you want to just make up some nicknames, then feel free.
Please refrain from rude ones.
Yeah. Well, obviously, if they're rude, we won't announce them.
Well,
but we'll have a laugh.
We will have a laugh, yeah.
So then, 2nd and inches. Literally inches. Trips to the right, one receiver to the left. Rogers again, and he hands that ball up the middle, and there's the first down. But Bash meets him just after he's got the first down. So it is first down, Doncaster. Once again, Rogers with the spread formation. Looks to play action. He's got a man again deep, and it's Wilson again, but
Rogers. Happy feet nearly.
Rogers just overthrows. Are we really going with happy feet?
I think we're going with happy feet.
Rogers just overthrows Corley.
Happy feet.
And the Caesars survive, bringing up 2nd and 10.
Well, have you got a better nickname for him? No, didn't think so. I think we run with happy feet.
I'll leave nicknames to you.
Oh, thank you.
I'll go with the professional line. So 2nd and 10, Doncaster at their own 15-yard line. Once again, twins either side. Rogers drops back to pass. He looks again. He's looking at, and that's overthrown again to Corley.
You nearly said it that time.
I did. I nearly went with it that time. And I say when we're looking at these two defenses, in 3 outings, obviously Doncaster have been awarded 2 games with the withdrawal of Peterborough, but in 3 outings, Doncaster have only allowed 29 points. Sandwell in 4 outings have only allowed 26 points. Obviously last week Nottingham gave up a fair few, gave up 34 points against Birmingham, but prior to that they'd only allowed 24 points in 3 games. So really are the strength of these two outfits play. And again, Rogers has got a man over the middle, and he's hit.
Big hit by Stephen Brown.
And it's just short of a first down. So that will bring up another interesting call now for Doncaster on 4th and a yard. Tom, are you there?
I am.
I can see you've got
a 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left in the half.
Just as referee Brian Yates gives us the 2-minute warning, I can see you've got some of your junior colleagues alongside.
I have.
Can you introduce us to some of them and tell them what impact they might have had today on the game, if any?
Well, this is Robbie Jones, the starting halfback, and he scored how many touchdowns today? 3. 3 today.
Just the 3 today. Just the 3.
Just the 3, and we've got Alex McLaughlin, first string fullback. And what impact do you think you had on the game today?
Negative.
It's not that negative. It was quite all right. Here's James Morby, one of our wide receivers. What impact did you have today?
I helped Winnie score a touchdown.
Yeah, it was a pretty awesome block, to be fair.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you, Tom. That's a high snap rather on the punt, and Pete Rogers kicks it out of the back of the end zone for a safety, which will put Nottingham on the board. Just wait to hear from. There we go, and there's a signal from Brian Yates, which signifies that 2 points to Nottingham. Sorry, Tom. Sorry, Tom. Right. So are these 3 integral then to the juniors' success? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, each and every person in our team has a vital part to play.
That is an absolutely politically fantastically correct answer.
I had to make up for my earlier mistake.
Coach, obviously these are your guys.
It's legally kicking the ball in the end zone. The result of the play is a safety.
And there we go, just to confirm from referee Brian Yates about the result of that last play. Obviously, Robbie Jones is a pretty special running back.
Oh, in which way are we talking?
Special
I
as
think
in
I ought to
talented.
be careful what I say.
As in talented. Obviously, he's with NTU as well, and has shown some flashes of brilliance for them as well. But
yes, yeah, he's still only young. He's actually in his last season with myself. Obviously, he's got a couple more years with the Renegades, who have just been promoted to Premiership football.
yeah, absolutely.
And he has come on. If anything, he needs to bulk up a little bit.
Oh, hard work with the fumble, but he picks it up quickly, and he looks for a lane, and he's tackled well there by number 52 for Doncaster. Richard Welburn again. Mentioned his name a couple of times now. Looks like Emmanuel Imardi and Sam Folds. Emmanuel for Nottingham and Sam Folds for Doncaster, just exchanging email addresses there on the field.
Again, dating site. It seems to be a success.
That's all kinds of wrong.
Steve, can we run it? Can we run a dating program? Where's he gone?
Steve's gone. Steve didn't want anything to do with it. So anyway, obviously we're under the 2-minute warning now. So let's see if Nottingham can add to that 2 points that they've just managed to secure. Natali in motion. Dan looking to pass again. Oh, he's gone. That's a bit too. Oh! And number 12, Josh Phillips, had 2 chances to grab that errant pass from Johnson. After initially failing to make the catch, he did have another chance, but he was so upset with himself he didn't realise it was going to hit him on the shoulder.
No, but we have just been informed there's 1 minute and 30 seconds left for the Caesars to get a score before half.
1 minute 30, and there's nothing to suggest that they're not going to just keep firing that ball downfield to Ash or to David Ass, or maybe even try and find Natal again. Baby Bash doing some sort of, I don't know, war dance on the sideline.
Another pound.
Another pound for, yep, I love it. So here we go then, twins both sides. Natal in motion again, so we get trips on the right. Johnston looking to pass, keeping his feet moving. He throws off the back foot a little bit, and that's a dangerous ball. And it's dropped! That is a let-off.
David
Real let-off.
I think, let's put that down to pressure.
Well, no, a little bit of pressure, but also Dan was throwing off his back foot. And anytime you're throwing off that back foot, you're not going to get the purchase and the power off the ball you need, and it's going to float on you, and that could be the result. So
he was, but I feel like that may have been the wrong receiver to go to anyway.
Again, maybe Sam Fold still had in his mind his success of getting Amardi's email address a couple of plays earlier, and didn't really concentrate on that pick.
Love will do strange things to you.
Yeah, will. So 3rd and 10 for Nottingham. Around about a minute to play. Well, it'll be around a minute 20 after that incomplete pass. Johnson takes a snap, looks to the left again. He's going for Davidas again, and it is picked this time by Folds.
He must be showing off for Amadi. That's all I've got to say.
So, Dan dodged the bullet on the play before, but then Folds makes up for his error. And with just around about a minute left, Doncaster will take over on their own 22.
I think potentially that's...
Interception timed at 50 seconds remaining in the half. 50 seconds.
I think potentially that's something that quarterbacks struggle with, particularly in the British League, is they find a top receiver and they just keep going for him. And teams are starting to know that. He's got plenty of other options out there, and some much more open than Davidas was there. And Dan just seems to be, it's Davidas, Davidas.
I mean, it's difficult to say. There's also times as well as Ash has caught the ball today, when you start seeing Ash has a couple of times caught the ball and then headed backwards, you start thinking as a quarterback, well, do I need to go somewhere else? As Rogers looks deep again. I'll tell you what, this ball has spent a lot of time in the air today from both teams. Good play there by number 4, Chris King for Nottingham. Veteran Chris King, who's always around the ball, made some incredible highlight, real material plays over the years.
Usually because he's ball boy.
But both for the Caesars and the Renegades over the years, he's made some incredible plays.
Oh, he is. He's a talented man.
But interesting again, Doncaster aren't wanting just to let this half-time come with this 6-2 lead. They're eager to put points on the board if they can and airing it out at every opportunity.
Waste not, want not.
So 2nd and 10, Rogers with the ball again. He's looking deep again. He's gone to that same side. He's trying to pick on King again and nearly through the hands of number 26, Dan Horrocks.
Chris with another solid effort at DB there.
Kept the pressure on.
But Dan Horrocks, who we saw hauling that earlier touchdown, can't quite make that grab. So 3rd and 10. Nothing to suggest that Donny are going to do anything else than put the ball up on 3rd down as well. So 3rd and 10. DBs now you can see playing a little bit further off, giving those receivers, particularly Corley, a little bit of respect. And this time they've gone short. It is Horrocks. Sorry, not Horrocks, number 25 this time. He's still on his feet, short of the 1st down. But Sam Broughton this time makes a nice grab, and the clock will continue to run.
Wilkins with some complaint.
Protesting about something.
I think he's just annoyed he missed the tackle.
It is 4th down. And Nottingham appear to be taking their final time out of the half. Oh, and maybe they're not. 80 Jars on the sideline, almost remonstrating that that wasn't what he called, but nevertheless, the clock is stopped. So Doncaster will punt, and who knows? Let's see if they can get this snap where it needs to be this time, or whether Nottingham can profit from another special teams error.
Final timeout for Nottingham, 10 seconds left in the half.
So, Natal this time back at punt returner. We've seen how electrifying he can be. Maybe a little bit of magic from him to end the half. It'd be nice to see. As I mentioned, coming up at half-time, we are hoping to have an interview with BT Sport commentator and former Caesars player Darren Fletcher, along with Super Bowl champion, former Indianapolis Colts player Rocky Boyman.
And Manning. Don't forget Manning.
And Peyton. Yeah, we're still hoping that Rocky might be able to hook us up with Peyton, but hey-ho. If you don't dream, you don't get, do you? So here we go, 10 seconds left, and actually with 10 seconds left, it appears that, it's just a little pooch kick there, and Natal has bought it a little bit, clears everybody out of the way. And that may well be the end of the action for the first half. So welcome back to coverage as the teams get ready for second half action, and indeed Nottingham are just taking the field now to kick off. We're very fortunate to have former NFL linebacker Rocky Boyman. Thanks for joining us, Rocky.
Pleasure to be here, pleasure.
So first of all, how are you enjoying it?
I'm enjoying it. I didn't know there was this extent of I guess,
coverage,
excitement
and
coverage of American football over here. So you see these guys out here, and this is what it's all about. The guys are here for the fun of it. It's nothing else besides the love of the game. And as an American, a guy I started playing football when I was 7 years old and retired when I was 30.
Right.
So to see, again, a level of excitement over here, I think it's pretty cool.
And what do you think of the standard?
I think it's good. I think it's good. Guys are, we're blocking and tackling. So it's a normal game. You're seeing, kind of same kind of formations and defense and stuff you see at the NFL or even college level. So, yeah, it's very cool.
What brings you to the UK at the moment?
I'm here just here to visit. I've been over a few times, I guess probably 6 or 7 times, just doing some NFL coverage stuff with Sky News and then with BBC. And obviously I'm here visiting Darren Fletcher, who we call the BBC, the Super Bowl for the BBC on. So visiting him, and we're having a great time.
So, talking sort of NFL in the UK, obviously it's been since Wembley started hosting games, and the NFL is having obviously a big interest in trying to formulate maybe a franchise in the UK. What's your opinion of that as a former NFL player?
I think I'd love to see it. I don't want them to rush it, though. I think what makes more sense to me is just keep bringing different American teams over every week. Instead of just trying to put a franchise, plop it down and say, hey, everybody, be excited about this. I think it makes more sense than time being for another at least 5, 6, 7 years. Expand it. Now it's 3 games, make it 4, then make it up to 16, where you can bring new teams over so the excitement is generated. Do that for a few more years before you try to do the team located here in London.
Sure, and obviously when Sky Sports and the BBC broadcast those games and players and coaches are interviewed, they obviously say how much they enjoy coming to London and playing. Is that a genuine response?
I think it is. They do. I mean, obviously people are saying, oh, the travel and stuff, but once the guys get on the plane, once they get over here, they have an absolute fantastic experience, and it's mainly because of the excitement of the fan here in the UK. I think a lot of players realize it, but once they get over here and they see the pep rallies and they see the coverage and they see a sold-out – I mean, there's NFL games they'll play in during the year, the home game where they won't be sold out. They come over here and there's 70,000, 80,000 fans in Wembley Stadium, so it's a fantastic fantastic experience for them.
And I suppose you having experienced the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Have you been over to them in the Wembley games at all?
I did. Well, I called one of the games.
Okay.
Darren and I called one, I guess, a couple years ago.
So because again, it's been said that they're a similar sort of feel, a Super Bowl sort of atmosphere. Is that?
Yeah, but I would say so. Just that the fact that there's an excitement and it's a packed house.
Okay.
It's certainly a I think the UK fan loves it. You can tell they're having a lot of fun at the games.
Absolutely.
And that's the most important thing.
Tricky one, I suppose. If you were an NFL player still,
Uh-huh.
and there was a franchise in the UK, and you were drafted by an overseas franchise, would that affect you? What would make your opinion?
I would embrace it.
Yeah.
Just something fun, a totally different experience. That look, it's already, an NFL player is very blessed, right?
Sure,
and to
absolutely.
be able to play in the UK, I would look at it as just a fun, different experience that I would totally embrace. And I think a lot of guys would. I think it's certainly more and more year after year, guys are getting more and more comfortable with it, and you get to come to a great city, great country, and have a lot of really rabid fans. I mean, what player wouldn't like that?
Well, absolutely. And I say, obviously, the Nottingham Steelers, I don't know if you know much about the history, but they've been going 32 years now.
84.
That's right, 84.
1984. I did my research for it.
And Coach Bosley, obviously, who's the founder member, he's still running the ship, so he's done an incredible job. Now, from a Super Bowl perspective, not every day you get to sort of meet and talk to a Super Bowl champion.
Yeah.
How, for a game of that magnitude, do you psychologically, or did you psychologically prepare yourself for?
It's a very good question. It's tough because, I mean, any kid that's put on a football helmet for 5 minutes or for 5 years or for 30 years dreams about playing the Super Bowl. You know, when you're young, you're playing backyard football, you imagine you're playing in the Super Bowl. So then for it to actually happen it's a while. But you got to focus on, what I did, and I think what a lot of players do is just say, hey, once the whistle blows, just treat it like a normal game. It's not, but the most you can try to keep everything normal the way you normally would look at a normal game. And, hey, let's focus on this particular play. Let's not focus on the magnitude of it. Let's focus on this play, on this call, and then that play happens, and then go to the next one. I mean, look at that.
When coaches say we
realize it, and I called and congratulated 3-4 times a year.
As a player, and obviously such an elite level athlete, what was he like to play with, and how did he sort of lead the team?
See, well, that's the great thing about Peyton Manning is as fantastic of a player as he was, as great of a worker as he was. He's just a regular guy. I mean, he'd go have beers with you after the game and be funny and cutting up in the locker room. The thing about him, though, is he could switch that. He'd turn that switch very quickly. He'd be joking around, hey, and then
bang,
boom, bang, and all of a sudden you're focused in. And I mean, he would run practice. I mean, we'd be off to a bad start, and he'd say, hey, we're just going to start this whole practice over. And Tony Dungy'd look around and go, okay, sounds good. You know what I mean? So.
Well, obviously, looking from this side of the Atlantic, and you often wondered how much of an offensive coordinator he needed, because it was obviously well documented that he pretty much ran things on the field.
Yeah, I mean, he'd been around it so long and seen the looks. So he was going to argue with it. Again, these are kids being drafted, and it's like any sport or anything you dedicate your life to, and all the ups and the downs and the trials, the tribulations, the injuries, the times when things didn't go your way, to finally get to a point where you get drafted and you're in there with your mom and your dad and the people that helped you along the way in that little house I was in, and and everyone falls to the floor and see your parents cry, and then that, and then just the other games and just the other big moments along the way, and then the Super Bowl. I was very blessed to have such a nice career around a game that I absolutely love, and now I do commentary for games myself, so it's fun to still be around it because it's a fantastic game.
I think the burning question that all Caesars fans are going to be sat there watching.
2 or 3 plays left in me, so but I'm still.
Okay.
The travel might be his travel
ahead of you.
Email. Yes. Third and 20 now. You would think Rodgers, from what he's been doing in the past, would look to go over the top again, and he drops back. He's got loads of time. He has gone over the top. King's there, and
Chris
King makes
O'Day.
an incredible play in the end zone.
Do we call him Chris O'Day, or is it Chris King?
Steve, Chris King or Chris O'Day? What do we call him these days?
Let's call him King O'Day.
King O'Day.
King O'Day. That'll work.
You back on the nickname tip, are you?
Well, I think that was a legitimate one.
Okay.
Clears things up.
So, real good play there on third down, brings up 4th and 20. Interesting call now for Doncaster. Rogers is still on the field, but we saw at the end of the first half that he actually did punt the ball even from the pistol formation. You would think, though, from this distance, maybe a bit too far out for a field goal. Not got anything to lose in terms of field position. So
it looks like they're going for it again.
Trips to the left with happy feet. Split out to the right.
I've got him.
And he's
Screen
looking
pass.
to. Here's a bubble screen, and Mickey Fisher misses, and that's run out short of the first down. But
I think the Caesars will be disappointed they didn't stop him earlier.
I think the intention there from Doncaster as well wasn't necessarily to score, but was to use that almost like as a sort of alternative punt. Pick up a little bit more field position without knocking the ball through the back of the end zone.
Absolutely. So let's see what the Caesars offense can bring. Obviously, half-time. First half, they moved the ball but didn't punch it in. A similar situation to the junior team had. So let's see what they can do.
So Johnson runs back out onto the field to lead the Caesars offense in this drive in the third quarter. The score remaining 6-2 in favour of the Mustangs. Trips to the left this time. Johnson looks, fakes a little bit of a handoff, pops the ball out, and it's dropped by number 83. J-Moore Thomas unfortunately couldn't hold on to that one. Ball was on time and on target. We've seen a couple of drops this afternoon from Caesar receivers.
It was a well-timed hit, though.
Yep.
It was a well-timed hit.
So temperatures just dropped a little in the stadium. Very much clouded over. It's still dry out here, even though there was a threat of rain earlier on. Remember, there's various ways you can get in touch with us. Use the hashtag Don versus Not. As Johnson again drops back to pass, he flips the ball over to Natal, who's picked. Oh, and again
trying to go
gets
backwards
to the line of scrimmage and goes backwards. If you're wondering why our hashtag is Don versus Not, obviously it would suggest almost that Doncaster are the home team, but we've tried to adopt the NFL approach where in the States the first team is always the away team, which is why our hashtag is hashtag Don versus Not. So you can hit us up on that. You can get onto Twitter at Caesars Football and follow what's going on. The Facebook address and that website, nottinghamcaesars.co.uk, as Dan drops back to pass again. He's got time, he has to move a little bit. He throws one over the middle, and again, a good play.
Good coverage by Doncaster.
Number 12 on the coverage. We're led to believe Connor Scuts, number 3, who's jogging onto the field now, actually, for the special teams play for the Caesars. One of my former players for the juniors. I spoke to him at half-time. We were led to believe that number 12 for Doncaster is actually a former Caesars junior player.
Mr. Dent.
Matt Dent.
Although on the roster we have got him down as Josh Phillips.
Indeed.
So we do apologise to either Mr. Phillips or Mr. Dent if we are calling you wrong.
So Cameron Bell back to punt again. Gets off another good high punt. And it takes another good Caesars bounce, and it's still going and fielded at the Doncaster 28-yard line, where Doncaster will take over on their next possession.
I think it's my turn to do a shout-out.
You can
is that all right?
Absolutely.
I think that there is, I mentioned it earlier, there is a man out there who helped me greatly last season, and he's been following us as a junior team, and obviously the seniors. He's been watching the live feed. Is Jeff Hughes, my former team manager. Jeff, if you are watching, I need you back because paperwork I do not like.
That's not why we do this, is it, George?
It is.
We don't get into coaching. I mean, we don't get into coaching to do paperwork. That's what I mean.
No, yeah.
That's what I mean.
If that's absolutely.
Rogers looks to the left. He's got Corley, but he's met by a gang of Caesars who stop him for no gain. No, that's unfortunately the way it goes. If you are running a team and you're coaching a team, unless you've got good help around you who run the admin side of things, then it is very difficult. Tom's turned around looking at me. Tom, what you got for me?
I'm just laughing that coach says he does paperwork when he clearly doesn't.
That's why you need a good team manager. And if you're not playing, Tom, if you're not playing next year for the juniors, you could take that role on.
Or you could spend the rest of this season not playing for the juniors for that remark.
Sorry, coach.
Well said.
2nd and 9. Doncaster. Oh, Wilkins comes close to the line. Just stayed out of the neutral zone, and he delivers a hit. And that pressure from Wilkins,
big hit as well,
makes that pass fall incomplete.
Only just recovered though.
And brings up 3rd down for Doncaster.
He's a bit of an eager beaver. So Walker's left me here. He's off to the pub. So Doncaster setting out again in that spread offense. 3 to the right-hand side. Run straight up the middle. Good gain there for a 1st down. It's something that I think we've been shy of really this game is the lack of running game. But particularly when Doncaster are running, they do seem to pick up a few yards. A nice 10, 12-yard run up the middle.
So for all good that sack was, unfortunately that next play, like you just said, picks up that 1st down.
There's a quick trip to the pub.
So 1st down Doncaster on their own 41. It's, sorry about that commentary, but it's gone deep for King again. And there were hands on the receiver, but again, really, there's a flag in the backfield.
I think that's a late hit on Mike Thompson.
I think it will be. That's definitely in the area of late hit. And he did deliver a blow. That is indeed the call from referee Brian Yates. Very fortunate, obviously, in the UK that these games are allowed to be staged due to the fact that we get volunteers working for BAFRA. No,
Personal foul, roughing the passer, 56 defence, 15 yards, automatic 1st down.
Sorry to talk over the top of Brian there. Steve Matthews trying to correct me on something he knows nothing about. That's the rules of the game. So yeah, our officials today, obviously we mentioned referee Brian Yates. We've also need to thank umpire Jason Mead, head linesman Rob Hill, line judge David Froome, and back judge Richard Prattley. So without these guys, none of these fixtures take place.
It's a long day for them. They refereed our junior game as well. So we do thank them for that.
So 1st down after that penalty. And it's another handoff to number 25. Baby Bash on the tackle, on a leaping tackle like a lion taming a gazelle.
Lion taming a gazelle. I like that. I think it's worth mentioning, earlier we had a bit of a running joke about Baby Bash, saying his name repeatedly. The reason behind that is that he has clearly stated to myself and Matt that for every time we use his name, his nickname, whatever, even his number, he'll pay us £1. So I do apologise if we overuse his name.
So after that pickup of 5, it's 2nd and 5. 2 receivers each side. Rogers again, all the time to pass. Oh, straight through. Hero of the week, Hardwick's hands. Hero of the week, Hardwick's hands. Wow.
No, that's not good, Nick. It's too long.
Too many H's. But wow, what an opportunity that was for Rob.
He'll be disappointed with that.
Certain times where that, I mean, we saw that in the 1st half with Sam Folds before he made his interception. When you've got a lot of time to catch the ball and you've got time to think about it, it's amazing how many times you actually end up shelling it.
Yeah, I mean, I played DB for you. I couldn't catch, so you know we had that excuse.
Okay, it's a poor excuse. 3rd and 5 rather. He's got to man this, and he's dropped again. Another situation where number 18, Kieran Ruane, took his eye off the ball before he'd secured possession. Looked upfield to try and gain the yardage, which brings up 4th down. Very similar situation to where Doncaster were about 5 minutes ago. And I believe they'll try the same strategy. They only need 5 yards on this obviously play rather than the 15 they needed on their last possession. So 4th and 5. Caesar show blitz.
And they do blitz, and Sholter loses outside contain, which means Rogers got an open lane and throws it away, even though he had a man there on the sideline. So good defensive pressure.
Very good penetration through the line. 2 players straight through. Quarterback code, nowhere to go.
And again, this stays a 1-possession game, and anyone can win this.
Yeah, I mean, one of these offenses really has to start utilising what they've been given.
So a little bit about Doncaster then. I mean, obviously we mentioned last time out that Nottingham, this is their 32nd consecutive season. Doncaster, for anybody, all those interested, formed in 2002 when 3 friends, Mark Blythe, Doug McLean and James Berry, became disillusioned with where they were travelling to on Merseyside to play football and decided to set up their own outfit. Johnson on first down, hands the ball off to Robinson, and that's a good gain on first down. And Robinson ends up inverted after a pickup of 6. So those 3 formed the Doncaster Mustangs in 2002, and 12 years later they're still here. And interesting, when they play their home games, you may or may not know this, obviously today they're in white with the gold pants, but they regularly wear green jerseys. One of the reasons for that was originally they did wear blue, but there were 2 other teams in the Mustangs division at that time that wore blue, so green was a unique colour at the time, and that's what they elected for. Dan Johnson looks at it, it's Davidas over the middle, and Davidas still on his feet, and still on his feet, breaks the tackle,
That's
and
Folds
eventually
with the final tackle.
number 8, Sam Folds, breaks him down. There is a man down in the middle of the field for Nottingham, but a great hook up from Johnson to Davidas again. We've not mentioned Davidas' name too often today. So as we just wait to see as the medics run on to attend to the Caesars player. 2004, and only their 2nd season, Mustangs lifted the, as was then, the British American Football League Division 2 title after going undefeated throughout that season. They did draw 13 all against Edinburgh during the season, but obviously that still meant they were undefeated, and they beat the Chiltern Cheetahs at Don Valley Stadium in Sheffield 32-13 in the bowl game to claim that title. Made 5 appearances in their 5 appearances in the playoffs in their 12-year history. The last of those in 2013. And now, I mean, very similar to how fortunate we are to play in this stadium, in this environment, and it is a wonderful place to play. Doncaster have their home games at the Keep Moat Stadium, which is an incredible venue for any sport.
Well, I'm not quite sure if they play in the Keep Moat, so whether it's an outer stadium.
No, apparently from what I've read this week, allegedly they do. Yeah, and speaking to their head coach earlier on today.
That's Cameron Bell coming off. It looks like he was pointed to his upper thigh. So whether he just got stamped on there, I'm not quite sure.
So let's see if Nottingham can build on that momentum. It's a shame Cameron got injured there, because obviously after a big pickup like that, you tend to see Nottingham go no huddle and try and keep the defence on their heels.
Absolutely.
So the medics leave the field. Tom, I believe you want a word. No?
Nope,
Oh.
not from me. Well, unless you want me to have a word
I'll tell you
with
what you can
someone.
do for us. Yeah. Go on, if you can see Cameron. Cameron obviously has been quite integral in the game. Just see how he is. Just see, because obviously being punter and other various roles he plays, just see what his status might be for his return. Number 25.
Cameron. I've been told to ask what's your likelihood of returning to the game?
Pretty good. It's just a dead leg. I think one of their teams, one of their guys' helmet hit me on the inside of the leg, so I should be back on in a minute, I think.
Brilliant.
Good
Thank
stuff.
you.
Good to hear.
Cheers.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks.
Just well you were down with Tom. Another great pickup by Davidas, fighting through, I think, a horde of Mustangs there. I don't know what the correct term for a
gang of Mustangs.
Yeah, I mean, what do you call it? There's an interesting one for the herd, of course.
Yeah,
I should know that.
You should be a farmer.
I'm a farmer by trade, yeah.
Mustangs being horses and all that, yes, it would be a herd. So here we go. 1st and goal. Low snap from Johnson. Manages just to get the ball to his running back. Can't quite catch a number on that.
That's because there was a herd of Mustangs.
Dan looks to slightly dangerous.
Seems to be
bit
a little
deep.
bit too far.
But again, Natal shows his athleticism, goes up and snags the ball in the end zone. I didn't want to say this earlier, but at half-time when I did speak to Dan, he rather confidently said, "We will score."
we will score. And he's come good on his word. So, Nottingham take an 8-6 lead. Let's see if Johnson can add the extras. Snap's good, kicks up, and the kick is good on the extra point. And the crowd come alive, and that takes the score to Nottingham Caesars 9, the Doncaster Mustangs 6.
I mean, we're not trying to pick fault, obviously, with the play, a touchdown play and a great one. A well-designed play, 2 receivers, I'd say, were open. Maybe just a little bit too much on that ball.
Yeah, obviously, it's a little difficult for us to tell up here, but maybe Dan thought that linebacker needed, didn't want to put it too close to the linebacker and a bit more loft. But yeah, obviously, the longer the ball's in the air, the more dangerous that pass can be.
Fantastic read, though. He was the right man to go to.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And all but that one interception, Dan's been making some really good reads. He's had plenty of time. He's set himself well in the pocket, and he's delivered the football more often than not where it needed to be. And receivers have come up with grabs. So let's see now. Momentum is a funny old thing, though. You grab hold of it, and then it's only really as good as what you do on the following possession as a defence.
You're a funny old...
Have been described. If not, we thank, obviously, Sophia for that help. She's the daughter of one of our alumni, Darren Chown. And once again, another person who's kindly volunteered to help out on game day with the Caesars. And I mentioned about referees. I mentioned last time about the volunteers. We've got Steve and Tom here today. Aidan, unfortunately, can't be with us today. But Steve Matthews and Tom, who are working the magic behind Caesars TV. Obviously, we've got Jay Mystery, who's down on the sideline documenting the game. And without these volunteers, none of this could go on. So we really do value and appreciate all the help. As Rogers looks to hand the ball off up the middle, but again, that's met by... Here we go then. So if it's a herd of Mustangs, what's a group of Caesars?
Well, you see, Caesars could...
An
army.
It's got to be an army.
Yeah,
it's got to be an army.
I suppose. I mean, Caesars aren't, it's not really a thing.
This is the common misconception, isn't it?
It is,
because
we're not named after the great Julius Caesar.
Named after anything to do with Italy or Julius or anything. Okay, it's all to do with Little Caesar, the sort of the American gangsters.
Was it something to do with Al Capone or something like that?
It's all to do with that sort of that genre. As Rogers drops the pass again, he's got a man in the flats who takes it out of bounds, but not before picking up a first down. Hopefully that's number 26, Dan Horrocks, we believe, if our roster is accurate. But I say, please correct us if we're getting this wrong. So that's where the Caesars originates from, Not the Roman soldiers.
So do we start calling them gangsters, or is that a little bit too far? Are we stepping into grey area there?
It's always dangerous.
Hoodlums, I like that. We've just
but that's where, and obviously that's where the hoods came from, rather than the Robin Hood analogy. So with both our American football teams within Nottingham, we like to confuse with the history.
Misconception.
Never straightforward.
Misconception.
So into the fourth quarter then. Into the fourth quarter now. Doncaster will start after picking up that last first down. Trips on the left, one receiver to the right, and the ball is handed off up the middle again. And this time number 25.
For a first down.
Sam Broughton, and I'm pretty sure that is Sam Broughton because I did hear a call from the Doncaster sideline. Go on, Sam.
Well, could be another Sam out there. They have got one Sam, two Sams.
Thanks for all your support as ever, George.
I support. I'm stood here. I'm getting cold.
It is a bit chilly now,
isn't it? Actually, yeah.
In fact, I'm going to rectify that for myself. So that deep pass, fortunately for Nottingham, falls incomplete. Something else we're trialling this year is Trying again to raise a little bit of excitement and funds within the club. And we've currently Andy Cusworth, Caesar's legend Andy Cusworth, is currently drawing the raffle to win some signed merchandise this week, courtesy of our special guest Rocky Boyman. Rogers looks to pass, and that's knocked down, battered down there. Great jump on the ball. He definitely. And wow, I misread that completely, because that signal means
it's not the first time.
That was a false start rather than an encroachment, so that marks Doncaster back.
Yeah,
I trust you knew what that signal meant, Coach.
I did, yes.
Okay, so 4th and 7. Rogers looks right, and it's incomplete. Oh, and got to be careful there. Chris King applying the hit after the ball had been dropped.
We do apologise. There does seem to be some technical difficulty with the referee's microphone, so myself and Matt will keep you informed of what the penalty is.
So that's a turnover on downs for Doncaster. Now, this will be, again, another interesting point. You get to the stage, we're in the fourth quarter, around about 9-10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. You've got a 9-6 lead. You've struggled to score during the game. Do you keep to your game plan and air it out and keep the ball in there, or do you come back to the running game and, you know, try and eat the clock now?
My own opinion is you deviate slightly. You're not in a safe position yet. You're only 3 points up. I think you have to stick to your game plan and maybe mix it up ever so slightly.
It's a good pass out wide.
Jay Moore Thomas with a catch.
And Jay Moore picks up 7 yards on first down. And more importantly, the clock continues to roll. Again, a lovely pass. Again, really quick decision from Dan. What Dan's got a lot better at are his pre-snap reads. So rather than waiting for the defense to sort of develop within a play, he could see the DB there, the cornerback who was covering Jay Moore, was 7 or 8 yards off. Jay Moore obviously then runs a sort of 5-yard hitch pattern, and you've got an easy pick-up. Dan catches the snap and delivers that ball straight away. Once again, Davidas on this near side this time, and his man is quite a long way off him again. Here's Natal in motion, and they're going with that jet sweep again, and Natal thinks he sees a gap up the middle, but it shuts very quickly, and the reason he did that is because Doncaster kept fantastic outside contain on the right side of their defensive line.
I think the nice thing about today, and I know he's at home watching, is that we've not had to put any disclaimers out for Spencer. I'm looking forward to having him back, I am. And congratulations to you, looking after his wife today, pregnant.
Congratulations to me.
Not to you.
Oh,
no,
right.
No. Well, I don't know. Is there something you're not telling us?
No.
No more.
So
no
yeah,
more.
so Spence, we hope it's all going well there at home. We do miss you, buddy, but let us know if anything happens during the game.
I hear deep heat helps.
Which is about as much as you know about parenting, George. But here we go. It's third down. Third down. Johnson under a little bit of pressure, and he's got his man. He's got Davidas, and he keeps his feet, and he's still on his feet, and he breaks the tackle, and he's still on his feet inside the 20 to the 15.
Great play.
And he's down just about the 12-yard line.
Great
Dan
play.
Moved his feet really well that time.
And I think you have to give credit there. Obviously, we've got an injury on the field at the moment. Obviously, Davidas made a fantastic run afterwards, and Dan made a cracking pass. But I think you have to give credit to number 5, Daniel Dobson, there for the
Picked
cut
up the block. Yeah, absolutely.
Because if he hadn't have got that, I think they might have just got the sack.
So yeah, and a demonstration there really of Davidas and his balance. He caught the ball, stumbled a little, but managed to keep his feet, not make his knee touch the ground, and enable him to keep the play alive, and a big pickup again. So last time they were in this position, Nottingham found that seam over the middle on a sort of shallow post, almost a deep slant, shallow post type pattern, and hit Natal in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. Let's see what they dial up this time. It'll be Fitz outside the 10-yard line, so it's not first and goal just yet. Take this injury time out just to give a few more shout-outs. And to be fair, Coach, let's go with your boys, the Caesars Juniors.
not only obviously they played this morning, but we've already heard from Tom down on the sideline there, who's still with 4 of the lads who played this morning. So they've been here since what time this morning? About 10?
No, before then.
No, yeah.
Quarter to 10. But you know they run the chains as well for the seniors. There's a few of them out there.
So that we've got Tom Henley down there being ball boy. They're running the chains on the far side. They've shown an immense amount of support online and on game day. And I mean, obviously, the reason you have a junior program is ultimately to hope that some of them are going to transition into the senior program.
I mean, absolutely, the juniors give the support to the seniors, but so do the seniors to the juniors. You know, it's nice to see some seniors down early this morning to catch them of the game. And it's something I think maybe last season we lacked a little bit.
He looks was Larry just
actually it was what happens to all sheep.
I don't know, I'm not a farmer.
Same thing that happens to humans at some
point. Right. Johnston again, back to pass. He's got a real ill-advised pass that time, and it almost seemed to happen in slow motion for the linebacker there in coverage. Just trying to pick that linebacker out for you. Number 52. Richard Welburn. We've had our first transatlantic tweet. Was that a tweet, Matt? Let's see, rather. So our first transatlantic tweet of the afternoon. Doug's girl, loving the stream from here in the US of A. Be interesting to know what time zone you're in there, because obviously 5 o'clock afternoon here. Are you East Coast? Are you West Coast? Let us know, Doug's girl. So, here we go again. Johnson with the ball. He's got a man, and this time it is picked off. And it's picked off, and the man's still on his feet. He's still on his feet. A good tackle there.
Good solid pick by Robert Mills there.
Number 64 for Nottingham, David Thomas, lineman, got back to make the tackle, but similar to the interception in the first half, the play before, Dan's gone over the middle to an area, the ball's been tipped but dropped, and then goes back to the similar area and gets intercepted. So, yeah, mindset from Dan. Little difficult to understand. But anyway, yeah, so those junior seasons have been a real bonus this year. And like you say, I think the fact we're back in the stadium really helps the whole club gel together. It's just a fantastic place to be, isn't it?
It is. It's a great atmosphere.
25 Broughton running the ball, and he gets enough for the first down.
It's another big run there.
There are no end of other people that show us support online.
Just before you do
that,
right? Because my mother, I don't know if you can remember this.
I do.
I mentioned something about my mother's age.
I do.
I don't know if you are watching, Mum. I love you dearly. I do. You are much younger than I stated. You are only 39, and that's where I'll leave that.
Hang on. Anyway. First down, Doncaster. Rogers are bringing back to pass. It's high. Oh, and Wilkins again protesting about something over the middle. He's not been very happy for much of the game, Andrew Wilkins. It'll be interesting to know what the issue is with him. That'll bring up second down. So, 2nd and 10. Ball is snapped, and a number of others. What's the atmosphere down there? Obviously, it's quite tight. It's 9-6 at the moment. Big loss there for Doncaster.
Atmosphere feels good down here.
Yeah.
Everyone's supporting each other. And, that was almost a pick.
So, looking if we can, another quick time check. If there's any chance you can get us a time check.
Yeah, I'll go and ask now.
Good lad. So, there is a flag on the play there, and again, it's in the region of, it could be holding, it could be any number of things right there. Here comes Brian looking to try and turn his mic on. And he's unfortunately failed to turn his mic on, but that did look like either an illegal procedure, a false start type penalty against Doncaster, which will march them a further 5 yards back. 9 minutes left on the clock. Thank you, Tom. So still quite a way to go in this one. Realistically now, though, the Seas, Doncaster just look to run this up the ball and give them a little bit of, up the middle rather, and give them a little bit of room to punt, but number 24, Baby Bash. We're not mentioning him yet in the second half, I don't think.
I think we have Baby Bash.
Baby Bash?
Baby Bash.
Baby Bash.
Baby Bash.
He's on the tackle for another good stop and forced Doncaster to punt from deep in their own territory.
We do joke about Baby Bash, but he has been an outstanding player at the Renegades, obviously helping them get a promotion into the Premiership. And he has come here and he's got a very good read of the game and what's going on. And you know, he's playing alongside his brother, which is a shame.
So number 24 and number 31 there on the Caesars.
But they gel and they know exactly what one another are going to do before they do it.
So here we go with the fourth down play. Kicks up, ooh, nearly blocked. Mickey Fisher back to return the ball. Takes a hop and another hop, and he picks it up, and doesn't get very far at all. May well have been advised to take that ball after the first hop and run onto it at a little bit of speed, but elected not to. Not bad field position for the Caesars. They'll start their next drive on their own 33. So while we've got this change of possession, a few scores from the other games taking place in the country today. It's 21. It's a tied game between the South Wales Warriors and the Aztecs. Kent Exiles 19, Colchester Gladiators 7. That's a full time. Lincolnshire Bombers go down 51-0 against the Leicester Falcons. We'll bring you a few more in a minute once we see this play from Johnson. Johnson looks again to the side. Oh, and David Ass nearly holds it in, but just gets it wrestled off his fingertips. Tamworth Phoenix continue their dominance. 53-0 over the Coventry Jets, and that's a full time.
Wow.
I don't think they've scored under 50 points in any game this year. If they
no,
have.
Although, you know, talking about the Premiership division, Merseyside's defeat, or Merseyside's victory, should I say, of was it East Kilbride?
Yeah, it was.
East Kilbride, which was a shock, I think, around the country, but wow.
Yeah, absolutely. It was East Kilbride dominant for many, many years.
You know.
Oh, and that looks like a false start, definitely, against the Caesars. Take your pick. Number 64. It's David Thomas, or number 68, Ashley Fannin.
Obviously, Merseyside, you know, playing the Caesars last year.
Yeah.
And you know that's the sort of thing that you like to see in football is the underdog really dominating. You know.
So a few more scores for you. The Lancashire Wolverines full-time score 31-0 over the Predators.
Natal. We've had some of your family on. Dave Scott over in Chicago, and another transatlantic tweet
from brilliant, great stream, guys. Watching family member Natal. So,
and what a game he's having.
Dan's got a man deep. He's got David Ass, and he's on his own. And he's at the 20. He's at the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown! Nottingham Caesars! Johnson to David Ass. We mentioned that connection earlier on in the game. And it pays dividends as David Ass managed to get behind his man. And to be fair, he was waiting for the ball from Dan Johnson there. It's not really like Johnson put it on a plate for him to run onto, but got enough separation from his DB, holding the ball, and managed to take it to the house.
Yeah, I mean, technically, you know, you could call the DB a star watcher, as I called one of my DBs as he let a floating ball go past. As he was waiting, and it was a little bit of a slow ball, but credit to them.
Fantastic play. So 3 touchdowns this afternoon. Dan Johnson with the extras, and that looks like it's good. So that takes the score now out to a 10-point Nottingham lead. It'll be the Caesars 16 and the Doncaster Mustangs 6.
Harvey, are you there?
I am.
Can we get some feedback? What's the atmosphere like down there now?
Atmosphere's good. Do you want to go and try and grab a word with...
Let's see
if you can grab David Ass.
David Ass or Dan.
David Ass. Can we have a quick word?
Talk to us about that play, David Ass.
Yeah, talk to us about that play.
Oh, a bit of rush of blood.
I just split 2 defenders. I saw the opening. I went for it. Dad threw me the ball. I thought it wasn't going to reach me, but then it did. So I turned my afterburners on and got that touchdown. Let's go Caesars!
Tom.
Nice one, well done.
Tom, just he's looked a little frustrated earlier in the game. Just grab him a second again.
He said
looked a little frustrated earlier in the game.
Frustrated early on in the game.
That's true, yeah. We had some passes that were battered down. We had some drops, a few fumbles. I just wanted to start off strong. I hate playing from behind, but we're pulling it back. So we're doing all right so far. And we're gonna push the tempo, hopefully score a few more touchdowns. That's about it.
Tell him he's looking good for a beer, Tom.
You're looking good.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you, Tom.
You all right?
Good tackle there from Natal.
Nice to get a little bit of feedback directly after a player scores. Johnson here on the sideline as well, looking pretty chuffed with his day's work so far.
Don't think he started, has he?
Johnson, he always looks like that.
First day's work of the week, isn't it? First day. I think it's the only reason he gets out of bed anymore.
So Doncaster really in a hole now.
Well, you know, we say that, but it's still a close game. There's only 10 points, there's 2 scores. You know, we've seen, well, stranger things have happened.
Well, things turn around very quickly.
Absolutely.
So here, let's see if Doncaster can get things moving. There's a man wide open down the middle. Nobody within 5 yards of number 80 there for Doncaster.
Yeah, I mean, this season's defense will be disappointed there, but great read by Doncaster. Great play, good pickup.
So Doncaster hustle back to the line of scrimmage for this next first down play. Oh, bobbles the snap a little, but he's got a man again in the seam, and it's dropped, but it's good pressure again from King O'Day.
Looks like Happy Feet's down.
But he's back up again.
Ainsley Corley, he's up. He'll be disappointed with that because he's had fantastic hands today.
Yes, he has. Everything that's been thrown his way has managed to snaffle. That's a great word, isn't it?
Snaffle.
Snaffle.
It is.
What
It
a
is
great
good
word snaffle is. So it brings up second down for Doncaster. So 2nd and 10 Doncaster. Quarterback back to pass again. He swings it to the flats, and it's through the hands of Sam Broughton.
I think he's looking, as Andy Cusworth has just stated, a bit
discombobulated. I think he is. Yeah, well, with that drop, I think Broughton does appear to be a tad on the discombobulated side. But good for Nottingham and brings up another 3rd and long. But we say 3rd and long. These 10 yards don't seem to be a great deal of trouble. Again, if it is Rogers who's quarterbacking for Doncaster, number 7, as we believe it is, he's obviously got a very strong arm. His height is obviously an advantage for him over that line, and he's delivered that ball on target much of the afternoon. Now there's a blitz coming up the middle, but he rides that well. And again, he had a man over the middle. That's Oates again. But unfortunately, in and out of the hands of a catch that
disappointing. It was a fantastic read.
That really should have been caught and converted. But now obviously brings up 4th down, but with where Doncaster are in the game and on the field,
I think
they're going to have to go for this now. So, London Blitz and the London Warriors battling it out, and it's 6-3 to the Warriors. Close game there, flag on this play. And again, another man wide open. Seems to be finding seams all over. And number 88 for Doncaster does get met again by
yeah, that's Paul Weston.
Absolute horde of Caesars.
It's Paul Weston there.
Paul Weston, and we believe, Paul Weston is the head coach. If it's the same Paul Weston, he's the head coach of Doncaster. When I interviewed him earlier on, he did have his fingers taped up. That penalty is against Nottingham, so it will be declined, and it is a first down.
It wasn't offside. Andrew Wilkins again, I believe.
We've got a player down here, Doncaster player down, and it looks like it might be Happy Feet down again.
Mr. Corley. Maybe he did take a slight knock there on that previous play.
So yes, London Warriors 6, London Blitz 3. Yorkshire Rams leading the Manchester Titans 25-13. The Oxford Saints lead 51-0 over the Jurassic Raptors. And we're about up to speed there with scores from around the country. Well, we've got this injury timeout. We've been really impressed with the amount of people that have been supporting and getting behind it. We've read a few shout-outs today, but just wanted to mention a few more names who have been giving us ongoing support online and in person. So many thanks to Richard Scales, to Lawrence Wass, I think that is, Stacey Martin, our own Stacey Martin.
I don't think we can forget Gemma.
No.
She's always with him.
She is. So Stacey Martin, again, a very long-time player for the Caesars, who's not playing this year, and I think has retired. Is it officially?
I think officially, retired? Yeah, I think so. I think if he's allowed out, he might play, but
not sure.
I think officially he has.
But Stacey's been a stalwart supporter of the club. Is he done, or after 4 testimonial years? Stacey's we're told he's
When's
actually
the comeback?
finished.
That's what I want to know.
And again, big thanks again to sort of Joe Perkins, to Linda Chow, and Chris Simmons. The Ugly Bread Bakery in Nottingham are always showing us support on Instagram. So thank you to you guys. I do believe in our programme this week. If it's not this week, I believe it was last week, but we have given them a mention as well. So thank you. And we obviously love the fact that we're trying to get the Caesars and British American football out to a larger audience. Nat Coombs, a couple of weeks back, had our coach Barry Bosley on his TalkSport 2 radio show, and it was a really good listen. Coach Bosley did say to me that it had been planned to be pre-recorded, and he was waiting for a phone call, and at the end of the day, as these things tend to do, he got a phone call 5 minutes before and was told, Coach, you're going to be on live. So Coach handled national radio pretty well. And equally, for those Sky Sports viewers, NFL analyst Jeff Reinbold gave us a shout out on Twitter. Jeff,
I believe he's also CFL.
He's CFL
Hamilton
coach,
Tigers.
Hamilton Tiger Cat, special teams coordinator. Special teams, I think.
And linebacker as well.
Okay.
So I know my CFL.
But regular panel, well, you would do with your Canadian links.
I'm an Eskimos fan.
And that's picked off! Hardwick does get his pick for the day. And he's still on his feet, and he's got a couple of men in front of him.
Running.
And he's still up, and he's pushed out of bounds
Fantastic,
at midfield.
At 50.
Rob Hardwick again, the man on the
Roaming
spot.
Rob.
Roaming Rob gets another pick to his name.
What's that, 5-6 this season?
I spoke to Rob before the game, and obviously he felt a lot of expectation following the Birmingham performance, and he was nervous before the game. Didn't have a great outing against Doncaster last year, so was eager to make a mark. And obviously he dropped that one pick earlier on, and we mentioned that the Mustangs seemed to be picking on him a little bit.
He got beat deep twice.
He did.
I think that's a recovery.
And that goes to show that you keep that short memory, and you're only as good as your last play. So right now, Rob is the best.
Yeah, but he doesn't do that on purpose. Forgetting, he's just genuinely got a short memory.
So yes.
No, fantastic.
So another great turn in this game.
How much of that do you put down to Doncaster being under pressure to get the score?
Well, I think pretty much now Nottingham know that Doncaster are going to be passing more or less every down, whereas Robinson with the carry on first down picks up 3. Yeah, Nottingham can sort of dial it back a little bit and take a little bit of time off the clock, where the Caesars know that they're going to be passed on almost every play, and maybe that's why there are such teams. Caesars are backing off a little bit, not wanting to allow anything deep, and therefore there are gaps open underneath.
Yeah, Mr. Harvey, are you there?
I am.
Could we get a time check? We must be closing down.
We could.
And also, Tom, it'd be brilliant if we could speak to number 38, Rob Hardwick, following that pick when he's finished with his defence.
Get Hardwick first.
So, second down, Nottingham again.
Ball's gone!
Oh, it's not. That completely threw me. Great play action there from Dan to Robinson up the middle. I thought Robinson got the ball and actually looked to swing the ball out to Daniel Dobson, I think, number 5. So once again, 3rd and 7. Let's see if we can convert on 3rd and 7 and keep this drive alive. So Rob Hardwick deep in conversation at the moment with his defence and particularly with his secondary. So here we go, big third down play coming up. Johnson, 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Robinson in the backfield, surveys the D. Drops back, looks to pass. It's a high one to Jay Moore, and Jay Moore lets it go through his fingers once again. Got to be making those plays.
I think we're about to get a quick word with Rob. Could you pass on a quick message? We've given him a nickname.
Okay.
Roaming Rob.
Yeah, your new nickname from the commentators up there is Roaming Rob. Got anything to say about that?
Oh man, yeah, no, I appreciate the plaudits and the accolade. I've worked hard to play for this team. All I want to do is contribute. But let's have this right. I've had a shocker of a day so far. Okay, I've left a lot on the field. It was nice to get that for a bit of redemption. But this defence is playing angry, and they are trying to shut this out. So happy with the offensive performance there. I think they've really stepped up. Yeah, let's go for that win. Let's get it.
Tom. Brilliant. Tom, you've got a message from, just say a message from Matt Walker.
Will do.
Message from Matt Walker. He's got to, Rob Hardwick is everything that the Caesars embodies, and he's got to not put himself down because he contributes play after play after play.
He says that you're the embodiment of what Caesars is all about. He says you put yourself on the line, play after play. Yeah, take it for the team and not as it for yourself. You're a real embodiment for the Caesars.
Tell him he's your everything.
No, I can't be more thankful. You know, this is a great group of guys. I'm just happy to get my chances. I waited for them. I worked hard for them. So I'm just trying to take them now when I can. I'm going to put this on record now, we have got one of the deepest, best defensive back groups I've ever had the pleasure of playing with. There's no drop-off between first, seconds and thirds. They're a great bunch of people. And they're all hungry to play football and to win. It's really good to see.
Brilliant.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Rob. Cheers, mate.
I think, we talk about Rob Hardwick and what a player. He's an outstanding player. He knows where he's made mistakes today.
Sorry, Coach.
He knows where he's made mistakes today, and he looked to rectify them, and he has. But it's worth mentioning, I believe the first time he took the field playing this game was with the Caesars 6-7 years ago now.
Roughly, I think.
As a receiver.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
He's made more catches this season than he did as a receiver.
Yeah, yes.
But he's come a long way, and so many players across the British League have. And it's fantastic to see.
I've known him for quite a while. He's a fellow 49ers fan. I'll put that out there as well, as I am.
Too.
I know. But he's a sort of bloke that is never happy with what he does. He will work and work and work. And no matter what and how he performs, like last week against Birmingham, it's not about Rob Hardwick, it's about the team. And that really, I asked Coach to begin with what sort of player he looks for in a Nottingham Caesar, and he mentioned about players with commitment, players who just put it all out there for their teammates. And that's who Rob Hardwick is. So just really pleased for him. Like we said, been picked on a little bit at the beginning of this game, but really pleased for him that he can make an impact like he's just done. So anyway, Doncaster back with the ball. It's now 1st and 10. Sholter looking. There's got men there, and he's let him go again. He's still alive, and he's still alive.
Still going.
And that really is a let-off for Nottingham, because when you've got that much time, receivers generally come free.
Yeah, I mean, Jamie will be disappointed in that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a solid thing that, he used to eat up. And I'm sure he'll do his best to rectify that.
So, 2nd and 10. After what really should have been a sack. Looks to pass again. He's got that same pass, and I think that was dropped.
I think it's grounded. Yeah.
It definitely is from the signal from the official.
I mean, you have to say, Mr. Rogers, great feet. Kept moving in the pocket. Okay, he got lucky. He got lucky with the first hit.
You're not gonna.
I know what you're gonna say.
What am I going
to say? But I'm not gonna go. I'm not even gonna bite on it. But he did. He kept moving. He kept looking, and it was the right read. It was just below threat.
A little bit low. Yeah. I was thinking, Mr. Rogers, great feet.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
I knew where you were going. I wasn't gonna bite.
So 3rd down and 10. Really desperation times now for Doncaster, and so much so that they toss the ball to the left. And the Caesars defence meet that before the runner manages to get back to their line of scrimmage.
That's an interesting call on 3rd down, isn't it?
It is, with the 10-point deficit deep in the 4th quarter. So 4th down now, you'd think Doncaster have to go for this, and it therefore doesn't make a great deal of sense that you'd run it on 3rd down. So 4th and 10 Doncaster. Rogers back to pass. He's rolling, he's got a man over the middle, and the man slips down, and that is that. Realistically from now, not a massive amount of time left. We're not at the 2-minute warning yet, but with a 10-point lead and deep in Doncaster territory.
I think Tom's just about to get a time for us.
It's nice to see Tom's getting more and more confident as the game goes on. He's actually looking to see if he can get a game with the seniors by the looks of things. Tom.
2:30 left on the clock.
2 minutes 30, dentist time, 2:30. So Natal jogging off. Nottingham take over on the Doncaster 22-yard line.
We seem to have had less tweets pop up on the
We
screen.
do, don't we? I don't know whether that's because less people are tweeting us or Steve's too busy eating all his pasties. I don't know what the deal is, but not been quite as many tweets today come through. We hope that's not because you're not enjoying the stream. A little bit of motion there from Dobson. And number 49 takes the handoff up the middle for Nottingham. Running back John Holmes. So once again, we do hope that you've enjoyed our coverage this afternoon. We're obviously trying to improve how we present this week on week. I don't know about you, George, but I've felt a little bit more relaxed today, knowing what we're in for. And
yeah, I mean, it's good fun.
It is good.
It is good fun, and it's nice to open this up to a wider audience for British football. And I like to feel like we're doing our part. You know, all right, we're the pretty boys, but you know, we've got the crew sat next to us to do a fantastic job. Sat next to us because they didn't bring us chairs.
Yeah. Absolutely. And Dan still got the ball. That's an awful pass, Dan Johnson. That's possibly one of the worst passes I've ever seen Dan Johnson throw.
He will be very disappointed with that. That's not how he wanted to go. It does look like there may be an injury though.
It was the defender very much was chopped down there.
Yes.
A man slid low into his shin area.
I don't think it was on purpose.
I don't think it was intentional.
He got pushed in, but
no, I don't think it was intentional any stretch. But
I think he's all right.
Dan didn't set his feet. He rolled and sort of just didn't get any type of power on that ball whatsoever.
But you know, going back to it, this is a great thing I think for British football, and you know, trying to get this wider audience out. You know, obviously we've got a few followers in the USA now. I think that's a great thing.
Absolutely.
I'm not quite sure how many we've got viewing the live stream at the moment.
Any idea, Steve? Have we had any figures this afternoon? Nope. So maybe 3 people this afternoon, Steve's suggesting?
Yeah.
3 people watching this afternoon.
And 2 of them are sat in the stadium.
Yeah, 2 of them are sat. Well, in fact, me and you, we've got a screen here.
Oh, that's true, you see. Well, we're not sat in the stadium, are we?
So first down, Doncaster.
No, credit to the tech crew. They do an absolutely fantastic job of organising this. Steve's been here since, 9 o'clock this morning? 8 o'clock this morning.
All right, don't show off, it's all right.
I don't think I was out of bed by that point.
Rogers has got a man over the middle and it's tipped. Tipped by number 41 for Nottingham, Kevin Harkin. First time we've mentioned his name this afternoon.
Well, because Kevin's not paying us.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that is true.
If it was Baby Bash,
you've got to know how to get your name on the stream, haven't you? You've got to play it properly. So 2nd and 10. Incidentally, I've just spotted your starting quarterback up on the top of the steps there. I'm not sure what he's wearing as Rogers drops back again, looks for a pass. He's got a man this time over the middle, and it's still on his feet rather.
Fantastic.
It's number 25, Sam Broughton again.
He really put the speed on there.
He did.
After that grab.
But again, he was allowed to do that because of where that ball was positioned for him. It was the pass was out in front of him, allowed him to take that catch at full speed and not break stride.
Yeah, I mean, going away from the football and over to my starting quarterback.
What does he look like?
Well, he's a bit of a wally.
He's not actually your stereotypical starting quarterback anyway, is he?
No, he's
Rogers
not.
Again, pump fakes. He goes deep. He's got a man there. And that is
Interesting coverage, but no less effective. Oh, and now a late flag comes out.
Maybe a PI.
Oh, a very late flag though. If you're going to call that, you call it at the time. And it'll, if anything, it'll be because he didn't turn his head and make any attempt to play the ball, I think.
Yeah, I mean, our starting quarterback, I don't know how or where he gets his dress code from, but it's awful.
Number 80, Ed Green on the coverage there, and that has been called against Nottingham. And it is a PI call, as you correctly stated, George.
I mean, that's going to be a big blow. There's still a little bit of time left on the clock. If Mustangs can capitalise and get an onside kick, potentially, things may swing.
So first down Doncaster on the Nottingham 30-yard line. 2 receivers either side for Doncaster. Still in that same pistol spread formation. Drops back, there's pressure from Sholton. He's got a man that side, and he's caught and scores.
Happy feet with a touchdown.
Ainsley Corley in for Doncaster to make things a little interesting. So not out of the woods yet, which means that interception from Dan, even though it seems it may have been in garbage time, now could be very pivotal.
Yeah. Ed will be a little bit disappointed with himself there. A couple bad plays. But, you know, sometimes that's how it goes, and hopefully he can rectify it if he gets back on the pitch, and if not, he can look forward to the next game where he gets that chance to recover.
And Doncaster obviously are going for 2 here. And he's looking to pass. And it's a great hit. And it's actually caught by one of the linemen who's still on his feet and then taken down. But great play there. Didn't quite catch a number on that tackle. Did you see who had the pressure on the quarterback? Was it number 3,
well, it was
Connor Scutts?
that put the pressure on the quarterback.
Great job by Connor Scutts. Once again, one of my former players at junior level.
It's funny how you never mention me as a former player. Was that much of a disappointment?
You were on the roster. I don't think I'd ever refer to you as a player, but
well, you know, I'm up and coming coach.
So no, Connor's been a stalwart of the junior side, and then went to university at Staffordshire. Played for the Staffordshire team for a number of years as he was there, and has recently returned from Africa.
Yes, I think, did he go with the YMCA?
I believe he did,
to do some charity ventures.
And it's good to see him back in the burgundy and gold of the Caesars, and again making a difference. So,
so the question really is, where's Josh Hanna?
Josh Hanna, many a time. Josh Hanna and Joe Garton and all those boys in the same class as Connor Scott. Well, I say the same class, the same year. None of them is classy as Connor Scott's. Well, but anyway, that failed attempt there means that it remains a touchdown lead, well, a 4-point game, instead of potentially a 2-point game where Doncaster may well have been able to drive and kick a field goal. So let's see if Nottingham can hang on to this 4-point lead, this slender 4-point lead.
I think we're going to be looking at the onside kick.
Nottingham definitely looking to cover that. So all important here. Oh, got to get on that. And well, James Smith, although I don't know if, no, it looks like it might be doing this again. They may be re-kicking, although James Smith recovered that fantastically well. Let's see what the confusion is here.
Mr. Harvey, while you stood there, could we get another check on the time? Obviously getting close now.
Yep, we'll check.
See what the call is. Not quite sure of the call there, but there will be a re-kick, which gives Doncaster another chance. Tom?
There's 58 seconds left on the clock, and the whistle went before the ball was kicked, so it was a no play at all.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for clearing that. Also, 58 seconds left. And let's see if we can secure it this time. And that goes out of bounds off of Caesar's hand. So that will be Nottingham football, where that ball went out of play. Looks like an illegal procedure penalty against Doncaster, which will put Nottingham in even better shape on the Doncaster 40-yard line. You'd think, though, with 58 seconds left now, Nottingham wouldn't try anything particularly dangerous.
Yeah, I think it's a case of run out the clock, but
Doncaster slow to get...
some confusion there on the Doncaster ranks.
Slow to get into position. But Brian Yates just holding the Nottingham offence up for a split second, allowing Doncaster to set themselves. Here we go, 1st and 10 from the 40. Robinson up the middle, and that's a good run by Robinson on 1st down. Close to another 1st down.
Yeah.
And it looks like timeout from Doncaster. So Doncaster trying to preserve some time. Gav Young taking the opportunity for a photo opportunity with Fletch and Ricky Boyman down the sideline. So it is 2nd and inches for Nottingham. So 2nd inches Nottingham. Let's see if we can pick up that 1st down. Ooh, that looked like a false start, unfortunately, by number 68 on the right end of the line. Ashley Fennin, it appeared to be. Indeed, that's the call. So, as usual, Nottingham never like to make things easy for themselves.
No, never do.
Went ahead against Birmingham last week, and then Birmingham surged back.
You know, although it's good football to see, it's such a tight game with such a limited amount of time on the clock. Brings some excitement.
And with such importance as well.
Absolutely.
So 2nd and 6 for Nottingham. Motion. Dobson with the ball, and he's met almost immediately in the backfield. Timeout Doncaster again, I think. It is. So, important 3rd down play here. Doncaster could get another shot at this.
Got 1 timeout remaining.
David Aston and Johnson come to the sideline. Update from the other fixture in this division this week. Ouse Valley taking on Sandwell, and we've been told there's a final score there of Ouse Valley 0, the Sandwell Steelers 14. So that means that Sandwell will move to 6 and 1 and maintain 1st place in the division. The winner of this one will obviously therefore slot into 2nd place at 5 and 1. But still, even with only a few seconds left on the clock, it is anybody's game still. Dan now looks to pass. He's got a man. He's goal! Davidas had a chance
He'll
to
be
secure
very,
that.
very disappointed with himself there.
And unfortunately, the pass was a little behind him, but he should have really taken that one.
It was a great play call.
It was a good play call.
Absolutely.
And now Nottingham will look to kick that ball away. So force Nottingham to punt. Cameron Bell back on to punt.
Hopefully Cameron can put the Mustangs back into to a good position.
So this one should come down with snow on it. And up it goes, and it is a nice high punt. Wilkins down, looking to recover. Oh, it's taken. And Baby Bash on the recovery.
Baby Bash.
And there's some more.
Doncaster with some decent field position. 21 yards there.
Well, with Rogers' arm.
I mean, the way he's been throwing today.
And unfortunately, I mean, it appears Ed Green remains on the sideline for this drive. Unfortunately, Ed Green appeared to be picked on a little. Change of possession. More scores.
So there'd be less than 45 seconds by now.
South Wales Warriors, Bristol Aztecs, 27 apiece. Warriors scoring there late on. They had the chance to take the lead but missed the extra point. Yorkshire Rams 34-20 over the Manchester Titans. As we cut back to action here, first down, Doncaster. Sholton coming around the edge. He's got a chance, and Rogers feels the pressure from.
Good pressure by Sholter.
Feels the pressure from Sholter and overthrows his receiver. What else have we got here? We've got the Farnham Knights senior team having a bit of a better day than their junior outfit. Their full-time score beat the London Olympians 36-0.
Shut out there then.
London Hornets, close one, 14-13 winners over the Cambridgeshire Cats. The Leeds Bobcats, 72. The Railroaders, 7.
That name brings shivers down my spine.
Down your what? Down your spine.
Down my shine.
Not your Sussex Thunder, winners by a 24-10 scoreline over the Hertfordshire Cheetahs.
Low
Looks
snap.
to pass. There's a man in the middle, and it's dropped. And once again, he knew that there was a man there about to hit him, and maybe just took his eye off that football, but it would have been enough for a first down. You're up to date with scores from around the country. The big one obviously being that Sandwell score to keep them atop the MFC1. All the Caesars players getting in with our Super Bowl champion Rocky on the sideline. So 3rd and 10, Doncaster. Rogers takes the snap. He floats one out to the side, and he's got a man. He hasn't got a man. Again, another lofted pass.
Pressure potentially getting to Doncaster at this point. Or, you know, having said that, Pete Rogers has done some fantastic work from deep, and we've said it before. Could we see something again?
Well, it's now or never. It's 4th down. Matthew Eltham on that last stop, applying the pressure to the Doncaster halfback.
I can't see a down marker. Where's our down marker?
4th
gone?
down, right next to where the right-hand side chain is.
You are correct, sir. Better vision than I.
Here we go then. So this is the ball game right here for Doncaster. Trips to the right. He's got time. He's got a man, and it's incomplete. And that's a turnover on downs. And I think Nottingham will do what Birmingham didn't do last week and possibly take a knee with the last few seconds remaining.
Well, let's see. You never know.
This has been a long 58 seconds.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, you're right.
Tom, are you there? I can't hear you anymore because I've taken you. No, it's okay. I've taken your mic out. I don't know. Can the people at home still hear Tom? Because I can't hear him anymore. There we go, Tom. Can I hear you now?
I can hear you.
There you go. Now we've got you. We've got you back. We had to take your lead out a little while ago because there was a little bit of feedback coming your way. Atmosphere down there. It looks like Nottingham are in victory formation.
Yep, they're everyone's pretty buzzing down here. To be fair, yeah, it's a good atmosphere.
Have you enjoyed being down there?
I have. Yeah, it's good to be down at the sidelines watching and learning. Really.
So finally, then, when's your next game?
Actually, I don't even.
All right, then, buddy.
Just take them as they come.
Well, thank you for your input this afternoon.
Cheers, thank you.
All right, take care. And with that, the referee holds the ball aloft, and the Caesars run out winners by a score of 16-12. Pretty exciting game this afternoon.
It was, yeah. You know, I think at the start of the game, I think it could have gone either way, and you know, at the end of the game, it still could have gone either way.
They always refer to this sport as a game of inches, and it very much is a case of you play for what we've been on air now for, it's 5:30, so for 3 hours we've been on air, and literally you don't know the outcome till that very final minute, and there are only a number of players. I know in losses that I've experienced in the past, you've not necessarily been the worst team, but one or two plays here or there make the difference.
I mean, you know, we've watched Paul Oates on that final drive there drop that catch. could have been completely, completely different score. It's just those one or two little drop passes here and broken plays and things like that. Unfortunately today, well, I say fortunately, I know we're supposed to be impartial, but we are Caesars TV.
Yeah.
Caesars capitalised on what they were given.
I think a really good outing today from, again, the defence stepped up, bend up, don't break idea. They really stepped up today. Dan Johnston looked sharp on the majority of his plays. David Ask was a factor again, and Natal's introduction, he's had a good day and plenty to work on there as well.
Doncaster, they can go away proud. Put an outstanding performance in. Defense is 16 points. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Absolutely outstanding performance by them. Great game to commentate on. I imagine a great game to be playing in. And I think it shows really how close this MFC division is going to be.
Absolutely. I mean, Ouse Valley, I mentioned to the Doncaster head coach at the beginning of the game, Ouse Valley, even though they're sitting at, they're now 3-3 with that latest defeat today. They beat Doncaster rather by 1 point at the beginning of the season. If they get their act together in the next couple of games, that could mean that they're challenging again. So the current standings then after today's play in the MFC1, the Samuel Steelers maintain their position at the top of the table with a 6-1 record. Nottingham Caesars slot into second place with 5-1. Doncaster then come with a 4-2 record. Ouse Valley once again will be 3-3 after today's loss to Sandwell. Birmingham, who don't play today, will remain at 2-3, and obviously the Peterborough Saxons have withdrawn from play this year. So
the MFC crown definitely up for grabs.
Absolutely, still, and like you say, that's what you want. You don't want a runaway winner. You want it to be there each week in, week out, just to be up for grabs. So we're going to take a break for a couple of minutes. We'll stay on air just to see if we were able to get any interviews. But we'll be back with you in a short minute. Okay, and you're back with us. Unfortunately, we're not going to get a chance today to do any post-game interviews. Obviously, it's been a fantastic afternoon. Just want to thank again everybody who's come to the stand to support us. Steve and Tom and all the Caesars TV crew. Everybody, Jay and Andy for his rousing support within the crowd. And we go onwards and upwards. We've had Rocky Boyman today from the NFL, a former NFL player, and Darren Fletcher.
He's going to get Manning for us.
He was going to get Manning for us, so we'll keep there. And obviously, as you can see on screen at the minute, if you've enjoyed what you've seen this afternoon, you want to become more involved, whether it's either with helping out on game day or helping out with running the club or advertising with us.
Or just coming down to have a watch.
Absolutely. There's the email address on your screen now, media@nottinghamcaesars.co.uk. So, on what's been a fantastic day and 2 weeks on the trot, the Caesars take 2 close games and move to second place in the division. We bid you farewell from Harvey Haddon Stadium. Thanks to George.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Pleasure as always, and well done to you guys this afternoon as well. And we look forward to seeing you next time. The next home game will be the 12th of June, Sunday the 12th of June, when the Ouse Valley Eagles come to the Harvey Haddon Sports Village for the Caesars' next home outing. So once again, thank you very much. Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. We'll see you next time.